Hello, everybody, and welcome to unMadeGaming. It is Saturday, and that means we are here for our 12-hour charity stream. Let it begin. So we have 4 wonderful one-shots coming up today. Today we're starting with Fate, with a whole new cast of characters we've never seen on the show before. So let's jump around and introduce them before we jump into this. We'll start with Bun Bun. Who are you? Where can you be found on the internet? And who are you playing today?
Hello, I'm Bun. I can normally be found on Twitch or YouTube under Bun Gaming. I normally do RPG video games, but I'm joining with these lovely people today for a one-shot. And I do love me some RPGs.
Dope. We have a few people that are not streamers here, so let's jump over to the first of which. I believe it is James. So who are you, where you can be found on the internet, and who are you playing today?
I am James Malloy, and I am a podcaster. I do 2 podcasts, Stop Hack and Roll, which is a game design hacking podcast, and Protean City Comics, which is a masks actual play. That one's the cool one, and you can just find them at stophackandroll.com or proteancity.com or wherever. I think this might be my first stream ever. It's possible. And I'm playing Courage Trelawney.
Sweet. I'll have to hook you up with Eric Vulgaris. He's a huge system hacker, so he's big on that thing. We'll jump over to AdorkableDM. Who are you? Where can you be found on the internet? And who are you playing today?
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews, also known as AdorkableDM. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as AdorkableDM. I used to be a DM for the podcast Awful Good, which is that Awful Good crew on Twitter and wherever. Today I am playing Captain Vivian Atlas.
Sweet. I will be playing the Doctor today, Hadley Trelawney. And last but not least, we'll jump in to Prax. Who are you? What are you doing here? Where can we find you? And tell us about the game and the Trash Crew.
Superb. Hello, I am PraxisDescends, mostly found on Twitter and on Twitch. I am mostly the storyteller, but to be honest, just 20% of the hard work that goes into the It You Trash Crew, who stream lots of different games, really, most of them out of my dome piece, but run here on Twitch. You can find us on Twitter and on Twitch, and we are a group of women and non-binary role players who do everything for our stream, from the art to the writing to the music to even to the accountancy, because we have a total dork in our group who actually quite enjoys it, and she is a total hero. But you can find us mostly on Tuesday evenings at It You Crew. We're lovely people, so come and give us a shout.
How do I hire the Trash Crew to do that for me?
Oh, well, speaking as the manager, if, however, you were interested in checking out the various things we do, then drop us a line on Twitter and we can be in touch. But the art is properly amazing. I am just the storyteller, and really, that is the sort of lazy stoner part of the job. That being said, I am here today to run this one-shot for these 4 lovely people. The game is loosely called Pirate Hunters of the High Skies, which is essentially an excuse for some rollicking adventures using airships. Because I'm a massive nerd and really love airships, I'll be running in a hacked version of the Fate system. But to be honest, the Fate system is a system that's meant to be interpreted by each individual GM. So lots of aspects, lots of stunts, lots of role play, not a lot of dice rolling, and that's just the way I like it. So the story as follows is that you are here with the crew of the airship, Captain Vivian Atlas commanding. They are a group of pirate hunters. So there are airship pirates that fly around the skies and attack ships and shipping, and probably the Navy vessels that travel around and make the skies very unsafe. Captain Vivian Atlas has a nemesis in the form of the dread pirate queen Delilah, who is famous for her ship, the Hesperus, which is a particularly cruel and nasty vessel. And she has a long, flowing blue hair, and she's famous and evil. So the crew of her ship the crew of Captain Atlas's ship are entirely dedicated towards tracking her down, to the detriment of their purses and stomachs and health and safety. So this is a game based around the crew, hopefully tracking her down and putting her to a very timely end.
Sweet. And unlike most of our one-shots with a timely end, you guys can interact to holy shit. You can interact by doing that as Mercer Virus donates $255, blowing the goal out of the water. Instead of right at the beginning crashing that goal. So, we had a goal of $250 today, which puts us at $4,700 and something for the year. If you guys donate another $250, that puts us over $5,000 for the year so far for Extra Life charity. So hype it up in chat first of all for the first
amazing
10 minutes of the game. Blowing
I can go home.
Water. Yeah, you're done.
This is great.
I'm actually just going to end the stream. Yeah, I'm going to give everyone their day back because it's clearly over. So if you guys want to be as dope as Mercer, you can interact with the show in a couple of ways. Check down in the description below for all the donations you can do to interact with the game directly. Also, feel free to hit that retweet button. Exclamation point charity tells you exactly what we're doing here. If you like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that, we'll jump over to Prax. Take us away into the high skies of fate.
Superb. Well, your ship has touched down in the port town of Vale, which is a massive town which is focused entirely on the top of the highest cliff in the area. It's the safest place for airships to take off and touch down. And although your last few leads went cold, you're pretty certain that by coming back to the main port, you will get a chance to poke around, ask some questions, and hopefully find out where the dread pirate Delilah went last. So Captain Atlas and her crew leave the vessel with precious little money and no information in the shittiest dock in town. And Captain Atlas, if you want to decide where your crew goes next or how much you're going to unleash them onto the world, the plan is yours. I will not tell you what to do.
Okay.
The sky is your oyster.
Well, crew, I know we're tired. I know it's been a long journey so far, but we have to see this through to the end. However, I am not unkind. So, if you need some time to do something, or if you want to help me find someone to see where we need to go, now's the time to say it.
I'm with you, Captain.
Now, to be clear, is it we have tiny, adorable coins, or we just have very little money?
Unfortunately, there's no adorable coins today.
Okay, I just want to make sure if it was precious, like little money, or if we had no money.
Yeah.
Whatever gets us a meal. That's. Where's the next meal?
Where can we get food? There's got to be an inn somewhere.
Yeah, that probably would be I might know someone around here, so maybe we can go to an inn and see if we can get something taken care of. Name of the ship.
Yeah, does our ship have a name?
I'm trying to think.
I don't believe I ever named your ship, so you're welcome to name it right now.
Adorable little coin.
Adorable little coin.
Oh man.
Wrath and Spite.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good name.
I like it. I dig it. Wrath and Spite.
Wrath and Spite.
Just gonna do that.
So do we know why we're hunting down this particular pirate? What's the gripe here?
She's the worst pirate in the skies.
Okay.
By which do you mean she's the best pirate in the skies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we talking like a Pirates of the Caribbean
I mean-
kind of thing? Yeah.
Well, and
Have heard of me.
she destroyed the ship for Captain Atlas and Natalia were the only two survivors too. So and that left me scarred, which also I have a badass lion mask on.
Yeah, maybe now's a good time to describe your characters and what they're getting on with.
Well, I'm playing Captain Vivian Atlas. I'm scarred and I wear a mask. It's kind of like a masquerade mask. It's black and simply made, but it's of a lion. It's pretty badass and intimidating looking. I'm bound determined to catch the Pirate Queen. And I'm one of the only 2 survivors of my last ship, in which my first mate saved my life. Intro Natalia.
I'm playing Natalia Jones, and she is the dutiful, slightly bookish, fast-working, essentially second in command to Captain Vivian Atlas. She gets on with the job fairly quickly, but what she tends to do most of the time is try and keep the captain nice and level, nice and calm, nice and, And she low-key might like Captain Vivian Atlas a bit too much.
I am playing Hadley Trelawney, who looks far too young for his age, has a young baby face, but hair kind of pulled back in a messy ponytail, often seen wearing a leather apron, definitely not used to make sure there's no blood on his body for his vast amounts of surgeries and back alley fixes and operations for his crew. That's Hadley.
Yeah, and I'm playing Courage Trelawney, who is a low-level, used to be a pirate, maybe piracy stopped making her money, and so now she's kind of gone straight and is hunting pirates. Maybe that had something to do with the fact that she met a young doctor and fell in love, but she's still got some of that piratey wildness to her.
Captain Vivian's probably got dope ass hat, probably. I mean, you can't.
Why would you be a captain if you don't get a dope ass hat?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to think a long, kind of admiral jacket that's in a deep, deep purple.
You buy it in the dope ass hat store.
Yeah, you just
Only
go.
captains can shop there.
One dope ass hat, please. I'm a ship captain.
Here are my credentials.
Yeah,
coming right up, madam.
Deserving of one dope ass hat.
I also need a dope ass sword and a dope ass boots, and yeah.
You need nice big bucket top boots.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Dope Ass Emporium. Please come on in. Shop around.
So, dope ass hat in tow, you swag down your gangplank. Although it's a bit ruined by the fact that your ship is a little smaller than some of the other ships. She's spec'd for speed rather than sturdiness. And some of the low level sort of galley swabs who are sweeping up on the dock sort of throw your ship some derisive glances.
Are you ship shaming right now? It's messed up.
I'm ship shaming, yeah.
It's messed up.
Courage is
okay.
definitely
Right.
glowering.
These were different times. They didn't know that all ships were beautiful.
All ships matter. Hashtag all ships matter.
Yeah.
Hashtag not all ships.
Courage would
Okay.
definitely be following up the back of the group, glowering at anyone who's given the ship a bad glance.
Captain Vivian's just not giving anyone any time of day and just pressing forward, trying to see if there's a sign for an inn or a tavern or whatnot.
Natalia is going to briefly, just a few steps behind Captain Vivian Atlas, just glancing side to side to make sure no one's going to give her a shifty look or give the ship a shifty look, and sort of glancing forward. Is there a map somewhere? Can we get the fuck out of this dock as soon as possible? In case someone gives us the wrong look and I have to tone things down.
Everyone's giving you the sort of suspicious kind of local look of just, you're new. We don't like new. But nobody looks to be giving you trouble. You're clearly, you're clearly docked. You clearly have weapons. You're clearly walking as part of you're clearly a gang.
We have badass hats, so dope.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the lowest level street thugs, completely turned off by the hat immediately. They're like, oh no, she's got a giant hat.
Yeah.
But all across the front of the docks and sort of several steps back, you can see quite a lot of hanging signs for taverns and inns and less reputable establishments, way houses, pretty much anything you can imagine. Sailors coming off at the docks will want is available at some juncture across this dock front.
Okay.
But you know that anywhere that's marked with an anchor is usually a place that welcomes any sailors. They're not sort of specialized places. They're not sort of gang places. They are, if you are a sailor and you're at dock, come and have a drink. It won't be good.
Yeah, the first anchor one that she sees, that's just where she's gonna go. She's not she sees the anchor, she knows that's where she needs to go.
So I have the first interactive donation for you.
Okay.
Orcs
What
Make
must I
Beautiful
do?
Lovers has donated to make an NPC orc bard named Enrique Orglasius.
I'm stealing that for D&D one day. I love playing bards.
God damn it.
Superb. You push through the door into the tavern. The door swings open, and you can hear the gentle strains of music inside. But as you walk in, the music stops. Everybody turns to look at you.
Can I pull a stunt?
Yeah, sure.
So I have your reputation precedes you. You may spend a fate point to have an NPC immediately know who you are and be awed, intimidated, afraid of you, and accordingly.
Superb. Well, then you may spend that fate point. For the record, you all have a fate point total of 6.
Okay.
Which means you have 6. You may gain them back through, as you do in Fate, through invoking negative aspects, but you spend them accordingly. They will come and they go. So you walk through the door, and everyone falls quiet in that sort of, people, we're not sure. We don't know what to do. I hope you're not here to cause trouble. And then you see from a little sort of raised, not quite stage. It's definitely not a nice enough place for a stage, but there's a bit where they've put 2 tables together. You see a very tall, broad. You're not quite sure because you don't know what an orc is because they're not they're not common in these parts. Man with a very busted up looking sort of mandolin who just goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I think we all know Captain Vivian Atlas, the scourge of pirates everywhere," and then begins playing a song that's, not quite about you, but it's about someone hunting pirates. The song ends badly, I think, with everyone dying. So he very rapidly changes the lyric to and then they all survive and win. And it's great. And everybody claps and applauds and you're welcomed into the bar.
So I take off my hat and walk up to the bar. My crew requires some drink and meal.
Do you have coin?
I think my reputation pays for myself.
Natalia scrabbles through some pouches, kind of out. And you're like, oh God, where's the money?
Give him the adorable tiny coins.
You pull out a very small copper coin that you think you're not sure if it's real. You think you bent it when you tried to see if it was real. So you kind of gingerly place that on the bar, there we go. And he'll raise his eyebrow and look over at Enrique, who is still playing, and gives him a cheery wave.
We're with him.
Maybe you don't want to say that.
Oh, then we're
his
not with him.
His reputation precedes him.
See, what we'll do
then we're
is
not with him.
We'll stay here, and the captain will provide you with good material for your whatever that is to sing songs, and then people will sing songs with him and drink, and then that will pay for our drinks, right?
He lines up a row of drinks. It looks a little grainy, but the beer in this part of the world isn't great. And he'll sort of walk down the other end of the bar and go, "I'll see what I can do about the food."
Thank you, kindly.
Perfect.
Vivian grabs her drink. Well, I know it's not the best. At least it's something.
I thought we were going to have to sell your hat.
The hat never leaves me.
As you say.
So what's our next move? We can't
we
stay
need to
here
find
and
out.
eat free food all the time.
Well, once you all are
Good.
situated, then we should talk to a few people and see if anyone has any needs or anything. Perhaps the bards heard some things.
I have some contacts in the Port Authority.
I'm sorry?
I have some contacts in the Port Authority.
That would probably be good to use.
And if there's And if this pirate is as bad as you say she is, then we are probably likely to find someone who she's wronged and is willing to sell her out.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Would it be worth asking the barkeeper if he's heard any stories when he comes back?
That's what I was thinking would be a good idea. Do you, Natalia, do you want to speak to the barkeep? I can speak to the bard since apparently I'm known.
Can do. So I'm going to wander over to the bar, drink in hand, put my arms up on the table and look, just kind of, where's he gone? I'm going to wait for him. Where's he gone? Okay. And I'm going to look around to see if there's any, like, wanted posters, if there's any notices from the Port Authority, anything like that, to see if I can kind of get a read on how much influence this particular pirate queen's had on this particular dock.
I mean, the time of day that you've touched down, it's not super busy. So there are the regulars. You can see the groups there are split between the dock people who are there, like the sailors who've just arrived and people like that, and the regulars. So the ones that you know full well come into this particular tavern every day. They prop up the bar. They spend more money than is reasonable, get utterly wrecked, and then go home at some point, and hopefully don't fall off the edge of the cliff. Which it's not uncommon that some drunkard will stumble home and end up sort of in the sea. Dead. But as you approach this bit of the bar, a man will sort of stagger over from the door, clearly in the latter group of people. And could you please, first roll of the game, could you please make me a notice check?
Oh, okay. I'm going to do one side and one the other. So, 1.
A 1 is actually all you needed. It wasn't a difficult check. I was just making sure you didn't botch horribly. And you can hear as he walks the sort of clink, clink, clink of coin. And it's definitely, because it's an obvious check, it's the sort of clink of a very full purse of coin.
Heck yeah.
Rather than like a couple of coins in the pocket. It's definitely too many coins. And in
like
fact,
that kind of
yeah.
And
but it's obvious because as he walks, he's kind of staggering slightly drunkenly. You think he might be the type that moves his way down the wharf, drinking, and comes up to the bar and puts his hand on it, and reaches over the bar to pour himself a pint, with the pump. And then, like, pulls his arm back up. And you know that he's clearly too drunk to be doing this because half of it's foam and half of it's spilled down his hand. And he does not know how to pull a pint, let alone backwards. And seems to go for a stool that he misses and ends up just sort of leaning on it like it's a friend.
Because it is.
I have been that man. Just say it.
Just British problems.
I'm just gonna glance backward at this fellow. I am up, I am down, but he's sloughing and he's rudeness, and I assume that he's absolutely
Can I?
I'm gonna choke on that if I keep doing that.
Can I walk over and sneak up behind him and kick the stool out from behind him?
Oh snap!
But then catch him and be like, "Sir, sir, you gotta be careful. You seem like you've had at least one drink, and it like just want to." And I stand him back up, and I want to try to pickpocket him.
Of course. Do you have a thing you can?
I have a. If I succeed a stealth roll, I'm able to freely and stealthily pickpocket someone because I used to be a pirate.
Best crew ever.
That is very true. You may make me your stealth roll.
Okay. So right is going to be positive and negative. It's a 0. Oh, plus stealth is 3.
So that's good. That's a good roll.
Nice.
So you're almost embarrassed because it is basically like Bun held up. It is basically like a pouch.
Yeah.
And the string of the pouch is just looped onto his belt. It's not tied. It's not in his pocket. It is literally just hanging off his belt, and it seems to be pulling his belt down at the side. So you get a nice flash of sort of grubby underwear.
Yeah.
And it's and as you slip the pouch away, he sort of puts his hand on your elbow and goes, "Nonsense! I only had a half an ale."
Sir, there's at least half an ale in your cup right now, and I don't believe you paid for that. And I'll reach into my pouch now and put a couple coins down on the table.
Oh my god!
Like, this one's on me. I think I bumped into the stool. I'm sorry.
Exactly, and he's just like, no.
He will pat your shoulder and be like, "Oh, thank you.
Just be
you're
safe.
a very kind woman."
Yeah.
Captain Vivian Atlas is just ignoring all this and is just going over to the bard. Whatever. They know what to do.
Yeah, you're just getting disapproving looks from your husband.
Yeah. And I just look back like, I can't. Like, it was right there. He was asking for it.
You know I can't help it.
Blood.
Wow.
I saw it. He was there. I was there. It just happened. Fine.
Walking to the bard.
Yeah, at the far end, sort of wiping glasses down is putting his loot down.
It's okay.
I got my mind was confused in my head. I was like, what am I doing?
It's a glass lute. Problem solved.
Yeah.
It's a very battered glass mandolin.
Perfect.
Is the bard who's taking a break from his set.
Well, thank you for that introduction.
Oh, you're quite welcome. It's not every day we get a genuine celebrity in this tavern.
It's not every day I find out I'm a celebrity.
Surprise!
So,
heart eye.
Excuse my bluntness, but oh no, what is you?
Excuse me?
I haven't seen many people of your kind.
Ah, we are not common and we are far-flung.
I see.
My people were once numerous, traveling the world singing songs of love and killingsmanship.
Just make up a word.
It is a common word to my people.
Killings.
You may call me Enrique.
Enrique,
Enrique.
have you been a bard your whole life?
Since I was very small.
Since my reputation apparently precedes me, I'm assuming you also know the reputation of the pirate. Blah, blah, blah.
Come again?
Of the pirate. Sorry, I took one sip of ale and it just... of the pirate queen.
Bum, bum, bum.
The dread pirate queen Delilah.
Yes.
You know, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of her.
Do we need to take this to a more private place to discuss?
Are you threatening me or attempting to seduce me?
Depends.
Oh. How about we go with
information?
How about we go with neither? And maybe I'll have some information for you in 1 hour.
Where?
At the end of this wharf, there is an abandoned building, painted all green.
Yes, that doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Well, it's where I live.
Fair enough. Is there, because I'm used to like D&D, is there like insight or anything like that? Or with
you may make me an empathy roll.
Okay, so what? Now I've never rolled fate dice before, so what?
Oh,
I've got 2 dice.
So you have 2 dice. Are they different colors?
Yes.
Then you decide that one is your positive, one is your negative.
Okay.
You roll them both. Take away the positive. No, take away the negative from the positive.
Okay.
And then add that total to your skill.
Okay. So
Number.
here's the positive one. That's a 6.
This is a variant on.
Roll my negative one. That's a 1, so I got a 5.
Wait, did you get a 6 and a 1?
I did.
That is a resounding success.
Okay, cool.
That is the equivalent of a crit in this fate variant.
Oh, didn't we get a thing too about crit with
yeah,
the
we did.
donation?
Yep. Caro donated $20 and says one auto crit to everyone. To all the
Well
players,
then,
rather.
because I completely failed to read that, I will save that, and you'll get a crit later down the line. So then that's not wasted.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, apparently I got a crit. Cool.
Nice.
He seems genuine, but he does seem afraid of something.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, when you get to the green door, you must do the secret knock.
Okay.
The secret knock goes thusly.
You got something a little more shorter and not so vibrant.
No, that is my secret knock.
Okay, sure.
I shall see you in an hour.
Okay, right.
And he puts his mandolin away and heads
She's
out the back.
she's already turned around and walked back to the bar. She's just back sitting at the bar.
You can see the tableau of Courage with her newly minted purse, the disapproving look of your doctor, Natalia, who is splitting her attention between the two of them, thinking, and you to ensure that you are okay, and the drunk man who is stood amidst them, sort of talking at Courage, but like she's not really paying much attention, but he's like, this reminds me of my time in the war. There were lots of us then in the war. Because it was a war with one person is not very good.
I'm walking to Hadley.
And at the end, there were so many lessons.
I walk up to Hadley and lean up
Captain?
against. I have a lead.
I
the
saw
place to
you
be.
speaking to the strange gentleman there.
Yes, Enrique is apparently its name. We have a place to be in an hour.
Is it a nice place to be?
Probably not. Be prepared.
Fine.
Make sure those two don't get into more trouble than they already have, apparently.
Oh, we have a new friend. Don't we,
No.
dear?
Yeah. I don't think I caught his name, unfortunately. His like
he's kind of still leaning on her like she's the chair.
yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
hello, my name is Rick. I live here.
This is Rick. He lives here. He
Is that your hat, or do you have a fantastically large head?
That is my hat.
Okay.
It is a fantastically large hat. Thank you for noticing.
But sometimes...
Natalia, is this your new... I'm sorry, I keep saying Natalie. Natalia, is this your new friend?
Nothing to do with me, Captain. I'm just waiting very patiently for the barkeeper to come back.
I look around, see if the barkeep has come back.
Yeah, he's walking back at the moment with a tray of glasses that he's putting out.
We have a place to be in an hour. Please eat up and take your fill.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm just gonna barkeep. Hi. Can I ask you a question?
If you must.
Have you heard of the Dread Pirate Delilah?
Dun dun dun.
Look here, I don't want any trouble, all right?
No trouble. It's just I'd heard she'd been doing some fairly bad things around here.
That's putting it lightly.
Do you know if the port authority's been looking into these things?
I'm sure the port authority's looking into a lot of things.
Okay. So,
I also know that she doesn't like people who talk.
Oh, snap.
just asking a question. question, I'll leave you alone. Natalia just turns on her heels and walks straight over to Captain Atlas.
All right, Rick, one for the road? Yes, I'll have several. I won mightily on the pools.
Hadley leans forward to the bartender, having heard Natalia's conversation there. And he kind of leans in and slips a hand behind the leather apron and slides out a scalpel and places it on the counter and says, "Excuse me,
Escalated.
excuse me, I could make it so that you could never talk again."
Oh God!
What were you saying about the Dread Pirate Queen?
Captain Vivian's just sitting here watching it.
So in this moment, I would probably ask you to make me a provoke roll. However, because of the group's amazing crit and this being your first roll of the game,
Sure.
I'm going to say that this man is shooketh.
It's shook thusly.
And he's been pouring Rick's pint as you've been leaning over, and just he sort of keeps going, and it's sort of spilling over onto his hand as he's looking at your sort of steely gaze. I'll have that.
You see, every ship needs a corpsman, and if you've heard tell of our captain here, if she's the best pirate hunter, then I'm the best corpsman.
She's been around here a few times, collecting crew normally.
Where does she pull into port? Which dock is hers? What's her boat look like? Ship, I guess.
Well, I ain't never seen it myself, but I hear tell that the Hesperus is distinctive. But she changes the paintwork every time she comes into dock, so then no one ever knows.
Who paints her boat?
Look, I don't want any trouble.
Then answer my questions and you won't have trouble. Answer my crew's questions and you won't have trouble.
There's a wharf a little way uptown. It's quiet, out the way. She usually docks there unless she thinks there's going to be a raid, in which case she stays in the sky.
Is it green?
No. The wharf itself is not painted anything. It's a quiet, private wharf. Mostly used for trade, crates and boring things like that.
So there's not a green warehouse near it?
Well, there's a green warehouse near here. Used to be part of an initiative to paint all the old warehouses bright colours to cheer people up. Remind us that we weren't horribly poor.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it didn't work. Just looks like puke.
It's awful. Oh, I seem to have dropped my scalpel.
Yeah. Maybe you might want to check that out then and go.
Courage.
Yes, no, I appreciate the sightseeing. Thank you very much. There's no maps here, you'd think, with pirates around.
Tip the barkeep for his service.
Yeah, and she'll reach into the pouch of money and pull out probably like a round for of drinks for everyone at the bar currently, and just like here, it's if she changes, if the pirate changes where she docks, if she hears that there might be a raid, well then it would be good that she didn't hear there isn't going to be a raid.
You're nailing it, honey.
And then
Great job.
and I'll hand her some more money.
Let it be known that I may be harsh, but I also know how to keep people safe.
Sure thing, Captain.
And I put him back when she can. I mean, she does a great job.
And he takes the money and sort of goes back down to the other end of the bar, like clearly pretending to do things, but really just kind of wanting to move away from you four. Yeah. He's like wiping the same patch. Like
Vivian gives the motion for the crew to follow, and we go to some quiet corner
with several pints
and their food. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can hear Rick at the bar. You can hear Rick at the bar going, I could have sworn I had a purse. Maybe I didn't win at the pool. Maybe that was a dream.
One time
Wouldn't
I
be
had
the
a
first
large
time.
hat.
Did you guys question? No, you guys didn't question Rick. You just stole money from him, right?
Yeah.
We
I heard
didn't do
all of his
anything.
war
Just
stories.
Courage did.
Yeah, okay. So, Vivian sits at the table. So I talked with the bard. He's scared. Wouldn't tell me any information. Supposedly, if we meet him in an hour at his supposed residence, he'll give us information. I do not think it'll be that easy.
Visibly scared, or just was not forthcoming with his information?
Scared.
Scared, okay.
Hmm.
How long do we have left until we need to be wherever he lives?
How much time has passed?
Not long, maybe about a quarter of an hour.
So we've got, 45 minutes.
Well, it's enough
So-
time to casually relax and eat this,
Misk.
whatever that is.
Done.
Correct.
Misk.
Did you get any information from that gentleman?
Yes, I did. There's a wharf uptown that your friend Delilah likes to change the color of her boat. Or
Oh,
ship.
no, I was there for that
Oh,
conversation.
right.
I was asking your wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to speak for her.
Oh, you mean from my friend Rick?
Yes.
He fought in the war, and he had so many friends, and he told me all of their names, and not many of them I think are still alive, and it's really surprising that he is. But no, he didn't really have anything of interest.
I take it he paid you well for sharing his stories.
He did. And
Well
I put the pouch of money down in the middle of the table.
Well, don't flaunt it.
He's drunk and a veteran?
It's a real
Hey.
shame.
Stealing from veterans.
What's done is done. How should we proceed? How would you all like to proceed?
We should probably
Should
take
we
a
see
look
if
at
there's
this.
anyone else?
We should probably take a look at this green warehouse.
Then I should probably go and check with the Port Authority after we check out that.
Or should we check with the port authority before we go to the warehouse?
Completely up to you, Captain. I follow you.
Port authority might have more information about this warehouse. I don't
Delilah.
trust. And Delilah.
Hmm.
Have you
Well-
had your fill of drink and meal?
I'm good.
They're both
As
a
you,
liquid, so...
As you say that, a table next to you, which seems to contain sort of merchant sailors, is suddenly and violently flipped over, sending sort of the tankard scattering, and you can just hear these two sailors, sort of both quite tall, broad women, just go, "You cheat! You cheated me!" And like she just punches the other one in the face, and she goes flying across your table.
Hadley,
this is-
Hadley immediately looks like Courage.
Yeah. And Courage looks over at the captain with like a "may I" kind of look.
With the unamused look, she nods.
So I guess Courage is going to follow her namesake and step up to these two. Were they merchants or were they just?
No, they look like they are the sailors on a merchant
Okay.
vessel. Like they're clearly uniformed, but you know.
And just be like, people. What seems to be the problem here? Can't we all just get along in this place of food and beverage?
Rolling.
So as you come over to try and break up this fight, the first one who is still clearly kind of on some sort of angry rager takes a swing at you. and it like makes contact in quite a forceful way. It's kind of a sucker punch. You went over to be conciliatory and nice, and you didn't think she was going to hit you. Like, she didn't telegraph it. She just kind of lashes out and like punches you full in the face, and it hurts. And like, she's quite strong, but you've definitely been punched by worse.
Yeah.
But still, it's a bit of a what? Why?
Yeah. And so Courage would be like, "Hey, now, that was totally uncalled for," and throw a punch back at this woman.
Make me a fight roll.
All right. So that's a +3 and a -1. So 2 + 3 is 5.
Yeah, so that is a solid hit. She kind of like sucker punch, like it's kind of a little kind of snake flip out at you. But you are trained for this, and you are also, very importantly, not as drunk as her.
Yeah.
So you take up a swing and you punch her solidly back, and she falls back over her table, which is kind of on its side on the floor, and she does a proper full flip land, and two of the other sailors who are with her just go, whoa, 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 and start getting up in your face.
Yeah. And Courage will just be like, "Oh, look, they were having an argument. I wanted to join the argument. I'm laying out my position. Isn't this how discourse goes?"
And you are shoved from behind by the woman who was thrown over the cruise table, who seems to be shoving past you to like launch herself over the table and like start lashing at the one who's on the floor. Both of them screaming about cheating and murdering each other.
Oh, yeah.
And how they are both the worst.
You're muted, Natalia.
Natalia is going to look very sternly at the one that decided to land a punch on Courage, and very quietly says, "Never again." I'm going to spend a fate point. And I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight that lady because she just attacked one of my shipmates, and I am not down with that.
So I will give you, Natalia kind of moves past Courage, who's still kind of holding off these two shouty drunk sailors, and she lifts up the one who was laid out by Courage, and I'm going to give you a +2 on any roll to fight this woman. So maketh your roll.
5, 2, 3 +2, which is 5, so that makes 7.
Wow, so that is an amazing roll.
Dang.
So I'm basically going to say that you pull her up and you say, never again. And you punch her and like you knock her out cold. And like she falls back into her chair and just like, meh.
Yeah.
And everyone is like looking at you and Courage, who are just like, Courage being the conciliatory one, you who just very rationally lamped out this woman. And like, they're like,
When Natalia finally gets up, Hadley kind of looks over. He was pretty sure that she deserved it. Having stolen from that man who's a veteran, she could take a hit. It's fine. And then when he realized, like, oh, there's more, he was, get him, honey. And then slides his ale over.
Vivian's just sitting here with her arms crossed and just nods in approval of her crew doing a job well done.
And all very quickly, the fight seems to be backing down. The two men who are focusing on Courage just kind of go, okay, no, we are wildly out of our depth. We're just going to go, like one of them just like rights the table and that kind of awkward, anyway.
Table flip.
Nothing to see here.
She's fine.
Yeah. Courage is going to help the
break
woman.
His clavicle.
Courage is going to help the woman that she knocked out, like lift her up and set her back in a chair. So the two women who were fighting are kind of now just like passed out in chairs next to each other. And just pat them on the head.
Arrange them nicely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleeping. They're just resting. That's fine.
Everything's fine here.
The look of the people in the room seems to indicate that there's bar brawls here all the time, and that people you can see just kind of just moved their tables away a bit, like, oh, just don't get involved, it's fine.
They just pick up the table and scooch, and then put it back down.
And in the quiet, and in the quiet, you can hear over the bar, "I have 2 silvers on the blonde one."
I'll take that bet.
I win.
Damn it.
Captain, do you think it might be time to leave this place?
Yes, I was just going to suggest, yeah, let's get out of here and go to the Port Authority, please.
Yeah.
You scooch around, and looking at it, it's almost like they've set up for a dance. Like all the tables are now by the wall. Like, let's give them fighting space.
As I walk out the door, I look at the barkeep, raise my head. Raise my head. I can't
Your
talk.
enormous head.
My enormous head!
As Rick said.
I raise my hat and go, thank you kindly, and walk out.
And as you walk out, you can just hear Rick's voice. Like he's looking at you because you turn to like fully like remove your hat and stuff, and she goes, "Hey, do I know you from somewhere?"
Why do I feel like we should be talking to Rick more?
Yeah.
Because Rick's great and everybody loves Rick.
Yeah,
he's the norm of this tavern.
I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. She's just heading out.
Yeah.
Rick is the hero the port needs, not the one it deserves.
I'm afraid Rick is neither the hero the port needs nor deserves, and yet here he is.
He's something the port deserves.
So out in the out on the dock, the area around here is always quite misty because of its position high up on the cliff, and so the whole place is kind of glowing now with sort of afternoon light that seems to be burning some of the mist away. And you can see like people are setting up like stalls and trading, and the whole dock is becoming a bit busier and more animated.
Do we know where the Port Authority is from here?
Normally, like it's normally in next to the rubbish part of town, but not actually in it.
Right.
So you know that way is just nothing but crap dock, and that way is slightly nicer dock. So you reckon if you keep going that way, you will find the Port Authority.
My senses tell me that Port Authority is this way.
I'm gonna let
Lead the way.
Go. Follow nice and quietly.
Yeah.
I guess following either Hadley or leading the way.
I'll walk their way.
Like it's quite a wide bit of dock, because you're very aware that to your left as you walk is just a sheer drop. There is no such thing as safety rails in this setting.
Why would there be?
Yeah.
And you can see actually a couple of the young, like the dock children who are like doing, minor running around and messenger work. As they go along the edge, some of them are making it their business to run like right up on the edge.
Oh, jeez.
Like a sort of game. Like they're running at full speed, like holding messages and things, and they run like with their feet right, almost hanging off the edge as they go, like the equivalent of running up on a high wall.
Oh, that's my worst nightmare.
Game of cliff chicken.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's my worst nightmare too, and yet I've done it.
No.
Just normal stuff.
Fuck that.
So just pressing forward on the mission, going to the Port Authority.
Yeah.
As you go, you can see Captain Atlas to the right and up the warehouse where you are meant to go later. It's kind of it's quite a way back from the front, but it is you're pretty certain it's the only one that has solidly maintained its color, whereas lots of the others have like patchy paintwork on it. That's the one that sort of stands out, green. Probably because in places like moss and shit has grown on it, and that's actually just kind of added to the green. Whereas the other colors kind of get a bit washed out by that.
Yeah. Okay.
But as you keep going, you can recognize the banner of the Port Authority.
Natalia, this is your specialty.
It is.
Please do as you do.
I'm going to go see if I can find a middling rank detective to go and have a word with.
Yeah, you all walk through the door, and you can tell this is quite a busy branch of the Port Authority because there's always a lot of trouble coming out of the smaller docks. So this place is quite well funded. And as the four of you walk in,
Uh-oh.
You don't need to roll. That's fine.
Just the roll. This is just fine.
Sounds a lot
you
like
can,
dice.
everything seems fine. You can see there's
fine.
usually someone there who there is someone there who normally like accepts walk-ins off the street for like who want to report crimes or who have just to deal with the members of the general public, but there are also like ways that you can go to speak to actual detectives if you know what you're doing. And to be honest, she doesn't seem like she really wants to talk to you, so if you don't go to her, then she'll just assume you're fine. Like so the four of you walk in, and there's like a whole there's a big room which has like desks, and some people are working there, most people are out. Behind there's like a kind of a metal cage that has weapons in it that is like chained up. And you can see that this place maybe should have a lot more people working in it, but just sort of doesn't.
Okay. I'm going to skippy step my way up to the receptionist type person, put my hands on the table and go, "Good afternoon. I'm looking for a senior detective in this port authority."
Senior?
Senior.
Like old or like been here a while? Or both?
Either's good. I need a little bit of information as an ex-detective on a particular case.
Can you make me a contacts roll?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe if I read your manner correctly, you're tagging an aspect.
Yes. So that is 5.
Superb. Like, you have a kind of walk about you when you come into the Port Authority that only really like dock detectives have. It kind of sets Courage off a bit because like it's so obvious. You have such an obvious police walk, and she's like, "Oh,
that makes me feel uncomfortable.
We're friends. It's fine." And especially the way you like put your hands down and you lean forward. That's such a classic Port Authority move that they do all the time to be like, "Right, you listen here, sunshine." And so she looks up and goes, I mean, are these people your crew?
Might be, might not be.
You're going to cause trouble? You can just say no. It's fine.
No trouble. Just information. That's all we need.
Fine. Out the back, I think there's someone still in. You can say I sent you through. If you cause trouble, I don't want to know about it.
Much obliged. Thank you very much, my dear. And she sweeps off around the corner, down the back.
Are we following her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you stand there looking at the receptionist, like she'll just thumb you all through.
Yeah.
Because, like she doesn't want to deal with you.
Yeah. Following Natalia again. Hat raised to the.
And what you will see,
I'm
though,
a woman of politeness.
I'm expecting Courage to just go.
Yeah.
What you will see, though, all of you, is at the wall. There are sort of several like line drawings of various people who the port authorities are looking for, and you will all recognize in the center. She is the only one that ever gets color on her pictures because she has the ink drawing of her face, and then always her long blue hair is drawn, and painted in the sort of vivid ultramarine of the dread pirate Delilah.
Huh.
I stop in my tracks and turn to Captain Atlas and go, "That's her, isn't it?"
Yes. Let's keep
Mad
going.
right now.
Yes. Let's keep going.
We'll keep going.
Courage is looking for posters of her.
The thing is, you don't see any, but you do spot there's a list there's a list of the ships that are in dock, which includes yours, and next to it there's a list of like, if these ships try to dock, they are unmentionables, and you recognize your old ship name on there.
Okay.
Like, that ship is just like long gone, but you like the idea that there's still like a list somewhere that if someone tries to dock with that ship, it's like nah.
Yeah. She'll just touch the poster. She'll be like, that one.
Hadley's also looking for posters of her.
And as you walk through the back, there is you pass by quite a lot of empty desks and like boxes, and it looks just kind of dusty and run down, like these people are far too overworked to tidy up. And out the back there's a desk where there's someone in kind of slightly battered coat just kind of looking at like a sheaf of paper this thick, and looking like he's on the verge of a very minor nervous breakdown.
Hello, we're here.
I'm going to saunter over with my typical Port Authority walk. I'm going to go to the desk. I'm going to sit my butt down on the edge of the desk, cross my legs, and go, "Good afternoon."
No. What?
You seem to be a little bit distressed.
No, I'm just, I just want to die. It's fine. Are you here sorry, madam, are you here to report a crime?
No, I've been sent through by the lovely lady at the door who said you might be able to give me a little bit of information on the Dread Pirate Queen Delilah.
Bum, bum, bum.
You want a bit of information about the Dread Pirate Queen Delilah? Because, I mean, I have these manifests of ships that she's raided for the past 3 months, going back, and it's random and it's chaotic and it doesn't make any sense, and no one can catch her.
We're gonna try.
This is where I would make a it's in there, cross arm.
Are we trying to catch her?
No.
I think so.
Okay.
At least first.
No.
Then maybe some other stuff.
Thanks, hon.
So, in order to do that, I'm gonna need some information. Pertinent information. Information that would tell me where she last attacked and raided any ships, where she's docked, the color of her ship presently. Any kind of information you can give me like that would be greatly appreciated.
Why? Who are you? What's happening?
We're pirate catchers.
You can introduce me. I'm Captain Vivian Atlas. You may have heard of me already.
Oh yeah, the flag chaser. I know you. Aren't you docked around here somewhere? Oh, I haven't got the manifest.
Yes. I like to think also that our ship that was destroyed was called Sugar and Spice, and then this one's now Wrath and Spite.
Yeah, he'll probably look up at you and go, "I'm sorry to hear about the Sugar and Spice. It was a beautiful ship."
That's where the tiny coins came from.
Yeah. They're all candy.
That is
That's a weird
neither
decision.
here.
Bold move.
That's neither here nor there. We are here to take care of a problem.
Yeah, well, if it takes,
so to speak.
I mean, if it gets her out the skies, it gets her out the skies. I mean, I'm not paying the bounty, right? If you bring her in, someone else is managing that.
I don't care about money.
Right. Suits me fine.
Is there anything you can tell me about that green warehouse?
The Green Warehouse, it's a shithole, mostly just full of squatters.
Good to know.
Okay, so she was last seen in the area. She docked at Vale, we think, a month ago, which means she's, by her time frame, due to dock again either soon or she's already done it and we've missed her. We've got eyes on as many wharfs as we can, but tiny little illegal wharfs spring up everywhere, so we can never know where she's going to go. We think she moves around between a couple of private wharfs in town, but again, people who have private wharfs tend to be pretty litigious about protecting them from detective work. So by the time we get a warrant to go and search it, we're pretty sure she's already gone. But we can't prove that. So it's a big, awful cycle of head pain and tension, neck ache.
Are there ways into these private wharfs? When I say ways, I mean ways. Not I'm going to knock on the door and ask him to let me in. I mean ways.
Probably, but I'm not allowed to support illegal activities.
Oh, I know. Just asking a question.
And he finally looks up and sort of looks at all of you for a second and just kind of takes in how you're kind of a combination of run down and well equipped. And he looks at Courage and goes, "Hang about, I know you. Piss off."
I think you're confused.
I think you should not talk to my crew that way.
No, I think you're a pirate, and I think you're on my list.
I think you're a king of England. That doesn't make it so.
Where?
Natalia tries to grab the manifest and tries to slam it down onto the table and says, "I don't think you'll be looking at that."
You threatening me?
I'm not. I'm telling you. We need information on this pirate queen.
Do you want help or not?
I mean, I don't want to be threatened in my office, to be honest.
Do you want less paperwork or not?
Outside?
I mean, the paperwork's important, so...
How do you
Doctor?
size you?
Doctor, Courage.
Sorry.
Thank you.
And, like, as the manifest slams down, like, a sheaf of, like, again, these kind of rushly done ink drawings of, like, wanted criminals, like, flies out. And, like, you can just see all these faces of, like, pirates across the seven skies.
So while this is going, the seven skies. So while this is going, I
love it.
Yeah. While this is going on, can Hadley try to like look at this manifest while everyone's arguing about it and see what it says?
Yeah. What are you looking for in particular?
Well, it's been pointed out that this manifest is somehow important, right? So I'm trying to get as much information off it as possible, like what wharfs they have watched. Like we have an idea of which wharf we think it is from the barkeep, so I want to see if that wharf in particular kind of stands out on that list of being watched or not being watched. Yeah.
Okay, so looking at it, the wharf that you know, you're pretty certain they've watched it before and discounted it. You can tell that they basically have about, like, you think between 4 and, like, 10 teams. But there are several hundred wharfs, so they have to, like, strategically decide where they're going to put people, and it's like a kind of game of Minesweeper.
Okay.
In fact, looking at the kind of, there's a sort of loose chart of, like, the various wharfs, and you can see, like, just all these, like, dotted lines of, like, them trying to hone in on where they think she's going to be. And, like, they have, like, a probability chart, and, like, but you think this is an old one, so you don't know how up to date this is. And you can kind of see why he's so stressed constantly.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. Actually, does it look like there's no one around that port?
It looks like there was someone checking it, like a team left about a week ago.
And like the surrounding wharfs, there's no one around those ones either?
Yeah.
So it looks like a perfect place to go. Cool.
Looks literally like if she had access to this chart, she would go there.
Yeah. Okay.
Natalia, I'm not entirely sure if there's any more we can get from this gentleman. We may need to leave him to his business.
I think you're entirely right. Thank you so much for your information. We'll be going now. Thank you dearly. Bye-bye.
The captain raises his hat, turns around and walks.
And, like, you can see him glaring at Courage as she goes. Like,
I literally can't take you anywhere.
Go to dinner, she gets punched, she goes to get pirate.
I took you for a drink, you stole a man's bag. I took you for dinner, you got punched in the face.
He practically gave it to me.
No, he didn't.
And those people started the argument.
That's true.
I was trying to help them.
No, you weren't.
Solve their problem. And I did.
in fact, Trelawney's, if you could both make me notice checks.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, God.
I should have characters with the same surnames more often. It makes GMing so much easier.
3 and
so I have a 0, but I think I have a +4 to notice.
Right, probably. Yeah, you do, because you're the lookout.
Yeah. So I have a 4.
I got a 4. Me too.
So both of you, at the same time as you're having your kind of couples spat, noticed that in the sheaf of faces that flew out, there's like a bundle that seemed to all be Courage's old crew, and there's like a couple of ink sketches on top that seem to be of her, but like the artist doesn't really know fully what she looks like, so like her hair's all weird and it doesn't look quite right, but it's the closest you've got to like evidence of the piratical wrongdoings of Trelawney's crew.
Uh-oh.
And seeing that, he kind of looks over to Courage and says, "Don't pick them up. They're not souvenirs. They're not souvenirs. They're not souvenirs."
But I want. It's so hard to. It's so hard to get a good picture of yourself.
The captain goes, "Crew."
Yes, Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Courage just walks past.
Exit through the gift shop.
Yeah.
Thing is, you say that though, but I, as the GM who has this big jar of fate points, I'm going to give a fate point to Courage Trelawney, and I am going to invoke the aspect plagued by the memories of those I let die.
Oh God, yeah.
Because you can see in that bundle these faces of the people who were your crew, who like you know that they're all dead now, and that.
Yeah. So Courage will walk past the fluttering a lot of the pamphlets of pictures of her, but when she sees the faces of her crew, has to stop and try to like pick those up and take them with her.
So to just add to the pain and sorrow, we had a donation for you, GM. You get your equivalent to a critical success. Which I'm sure is terribly painful for us.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna save that.
Okay.
For later.
Sure. Great.
As you go, you can hear the detective just go, "Wait, what was that?" As you walk out with the.
I said, "Is there a gift shop?"
You've taken off the floor, and you just kind of keep walking.
I need a commemorative coin.
Yeah.
I collect plates.
Like tea towels.
So,
Captain.
anyone? Yes.
So that manifest that Natalia was slamming around, they have watched the wharf that the bartender was talking about, and no one is on it or around it for quite some while. Looks like a perfect spot for her to land.
Agreed. We should get to the warehouse, and then probably to that wharf. Any other things? Anyone pick up anything else?
I've exhausted my abilities as an ex-detective. I'm sorry, Captain.
It's fine. You did what you could.
You can just see Courage like holding this quite thick bundle of paper.
Yeah.
Is that going to be anything useful?
No.
To me.
So no.
No.
Turns around and starts walking towards the warehouse.
And then there's just a spat the entire time, right? I can't believe you picked them all up.
Pat Courage on the
Why did
shoulder
you
and
pick all
go,
of them
"It's
up?
fine."
What are we going to do with them?
I gotta hang them up somewhere. Like
Why would
someone
you hang them
remember
up?
these
They're
people.
all dead. Why would you hang them up? That's
They
incredibly
deserve-
morbid.
They deserve to be remembered.
I've killed people and I don't hang them up either.
I didn't.
It's weird.
I don't understand.
It's weird.
It-
We share one bedroom. I don't want to look at dead people all the time. It's a small ship. It's a fine ship, but it's small.
I'll keep them somewhere where you don't have to look at them.
Make a scrapbook. Be a normal wife for once. Jeez. Just punch people and steal things.
We turned into a fucking arts and crafts show.
This is the entire walk to the green warehouse. It's just this
I was gonna say at one point the captain like stops in her tracks and turns around. Are you two done yet?
How far is the warehouse?
Maybe a street or so away.
No, we're not done yet.
No, probably not.
It's fine, Captain. Just ignore it. It's a lover's span. Let's just continue.
She turns. She's just sitting there with her arms crossed. We cannot compromise what we need to do.
You wed us.
I know I did, and that was a mistake, apparently.
Captain, it's fine. It's fine. We're doing what we need to do. Just
Yes, but if they're going to be arguing and not paying attention, we don't know when she could hit. We don't know who is working for her. So, if you have more of this frivolous discussion that needs to be done, get it out now. Or so help me, I will turn this ship around.
I will turn this whole dock around. Fine.
We'll figure it out later. I won't hang them up immediately.
let's just keep going. Let's be quick about it.
She turns around and starts walking again.
You approach the warehouse, and I love you all so much. You approach the warehouse, and you can see that it's kind of wedged in amongst a number of other warehouses, but it seems to be kind of the bigger of the area, and all the windows are boarded up. And you can see the street outside is not very well cared for, but there is definitely like a little, like you go up some stairs and you go into the building.
I go to, right before I knock, have your weapons ready. I don't know what we're going into.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes peeled.
Sounds good.
Whatever this weird knock thing
It
was.
1 knock, 3 knocks, 7 knocks, and 1 knock.
Yeah, I do that. Dun, 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 dun.
Natalia's the best at remembering stupid knocks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good with numbers.
Yeah, that was the thing. She goes to knock and go, Natalia.
That's her skill. That's what it is.
It's like, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to do this.
New
I let
aspect.
Natalia do it.
Which would be
And there's the long pause, and then the final knock, and then like the door immediately like swings open, and you are all waved inside.
scuttle inside.
Step in.
And the door is closed behind you, and it's dark.
Oh no, you're frozen.
There's like a light in the
there you are.
distance, but the whole building seems to be.
You're good. You're good.
Oh no. And then you never know what happens, and the whole building seems to be kind of kept in darkness.
Okay.
So it's kind of, you have to sort of strain your eyes to be able to see, and you can hear movement inside the warehouse, but like you can't see anything until your eyes adjust to the shadows.
I'm gonna. See
But you see the.
Sorry, spoke too soon. She's frozen for me. I can't see anything.
She's been freezing, but she's still. I'm still getting audio. So
Are you good? Are you good?
I'm here. I haven't. Nothing's frozen for me, so you can keep
Nothing's
going.
frozen for me.
I assumed I timed in too early and you were still continuing. I was gonna do a notice roll and see if I could spot who was in the room in low light.
I'm going to call that an investigate roll, because you're properly like combing for information rather than just kind of quickly noticing things. So people are all welcome to make me investigate rolls to see what's what.
yeah. Oh, so that list you gave me, the provoke, fight, athletics, those are the bonuses.
Yeah. So the numbers next to them are the bonuses. You add that to the dice rolls.
So I got a 4.
Promise I'm not.
Did you crit again?
Gave them.
I crit again, and it's a 5 plus 1, so it's a 6.
I also have a 4, and I'm the lookout.
Yeah, I crit. I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
God, way to just ruin everyone's fun. Jeez.
I know. Ugh.
How's Courage doing?
I didn't bother. It wasn't going to be good.
She's too riled up from her fight.
Yeah.
She's a girl after my own heart. Everyone else is looking at stuff. I'm just going to keep walking.
Hug my face.
She's just sullen.
She's keeping close to Hadley, and she knows that Hadley's better at looking for things than she is. So she's just like, it's going to be what it is. I'm going to be... She's got a hand on her sword.
So you'll walk in. Captain, you will... the three of you will notice that there are definitely other people in this building that Enrique doesn't seem too fussed about. Like, they just seem to be about, which tallies with what you know about how this is a building that lots of people live in.
Yeah.
You can definitely get the sense that people live here, that this is like a working environment. There's a mess everywhere, and you can smell, like it's like stove smoke, maybe on an upper floor. Captain, what you will notice is that as you walk into the room, a lot of the movement sort of stops, and you can tell that there are a couple of other people in this specific room with you, in the dark.
Who's with you, Enrique?
It's just my family.
Your family.
Yes, I have family. That's fine. Normal people have families. I am normal.
See your family.
No, they don't talk to people. They're quiet.
How do I know it's not? You don't have anything set up as an ambush.
Why would I invite you to my house to ambush you?
Would have been.
Why wouldn't you?
That makes the most sense, literally, Enrique. It's dark in here. You invited 4 strangers into your home, which is
it's
also
not dark for me.
warehouse.
I can see in the dark. I thought you could see in the dark. Can people not see in the dark?
You're in a city of people who can't see in the dark.
Yes, but humans are very strange to me.
Yes, well, the same could be said for you.
Well, you asked me for information.
Yes, so let me know that you don't have people laying here in ambush. Then we can have a calm peace here and discuss things calmly.
He vanishes into the darkness, kind of muttering about sort of rude people. You invite them to your house and they don't trust you.
Yeah.
and he comes back sort of holding, like, you think it's a child, but like it's kind of pointed and like ever so slightly tusked, who's just kind of like clearly quite small, and just kind of goes, there, you've seen my son.
Okay, well, either you're an asshole who uses children as bait, or you're being legit.
Why would I? He is a sweet boy.
Let's get down to matters, Enrique.
It's a kid.
My sweet boy. Who's my sweet boy? You are my sweet boy.
Kirk's is gonna kind of just like touch the child a little bit.
You don't know where that's been.
The child grabs your hand.
It's a baby.
And he's remarkably strong. And like you are kind of very gently pulled over, and he starts kind of gumming on your hand.
Okay, that's too much.
No, you don't get your hand back.
Oh no!
I move a handkerchief from my pocket and just start dabbing at your hand, like, oh.
And like the tusks are quite firm.
I'm not even helping you now. You deserve that. I said don't do it.
It's like he's still a child, so you can get your hand back, but it's a little bit of no.
Yeah, no. And this is definitely a child, yes.
No shit. Thank
Do
you.
not bite at the humans. You don't know where they've been.
That's what I said.
No,
Anyway.
Off you pop.
Enrique,
Go on. Good boy. What? Yes.
you seemed scared.
Yes.
Tell me your information and why you're scared.
The dread pirate Delilah has made it known that any who tell of her location or strengths or weaknesses or anything about her will be brutally murdered.
So then why are you telling me anything?
Because she is mean.
It's a good point.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
She does not like my people. She said disparaging things about my son.
You've met her.
Many times.
How so? How so?
Oh, well, she is up and down the wharf buying rounds of drinks for people and getting new sailors to work on her mini fleet of ships.
So you know what she looks like?
Yes, of
Do you
course.
know where she's docked?
Not currently.
Do you know where she's going to dock?
Well, I have heard tell that there are 3 wharfs in this area that she values highly. One of them has a very nice view of the mountain, which she is very fond of.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is quite close to a venue that she is very fond of visiting when she has successfully completed a raid and has a lot of money.
What's the venue?
Apparently, it is called the Gilded Blossom, and there are apparently very attractive girls there. I would not know, for I am a married man, but she is fond of it for attractive girl reasons.
Gotcha. That was noted.
I imagine those reasons are sexual in nature.
Yes, no, we're good.
Yep.
But I do not like to imagine humans doing this because it is repulsive to me.
Enrique, get to the point. Where's the other one?
Oh, the other one is closer to where we are now. It is in a slightly rougher part of town. She says that it is not a nice place to visit, but she goes there when the heat is on. I imagine that is figurative because her boat is made of wood and would probably burn quite easily.
Yes, I believe she's probably referring to the Port Authority, which, Natalia, Port Authority is currently trying to look for her, correct?
Correct.
Do any of these descriptions line up with what you saw, Doctor?
Oh,
You are muted.
Hadley is muted.
Mutely.
Yeah,
Hey!
yeah.
There you go.
Do any of them?
Yeah, two
Solid
of them
one.
you think are definitely ones that haven't been checked recently. Oh no, have been checked recently,
Yep.
and therefore won't be checked again for quite a while.
Okay.
And they are the two slightly nicer ones.
Okay. Yeah. So he looks over and says, "Yes, I think the manifest and what the bartender said. I think it's the first two. The heat's not currently on. They're always looking for her, right? They haven't really found one. So I think that it would be one of the first two. The View, or was it the Gilded Blossom? One of the two of those.
So part of it depends if she's had a good raid or not.
But if the Port Authority are looking for her, she'll be in the slightly dilapidated one if the heat is on.
Right, but the heat's always on here. I think that there's no particular reason to be looking for her any more than usual.
No, you're right.
Everyone make me notice checks.
Oh, well, okay.
Dang it. Okay, I didn't crit this time.
3.
Oh no, only like a 28.
This is noticed.
Yeah, notice.
Yeah.
I have a 5.
3.
1.
3.
Very well, then. Alas, not courage. Look, your skills will come out in other ways.
Yeah.
Hadley, as you're talking, and sort of in a moment of silence when you're done, you hear a movement that isn't in the building, is outside in the alleyway, and you think you've heard the sound of something breaking.
Crap.
Okay. Yeah, he looks to the captain and very calmly says, "Someone's outside."
Enrique, who else knows you live here?
Well, I don't advertise it, but I live here, so if anybody...
You are probably going to need to find another place to move your family. Go somewhere else that you can.
But
crew, we've endangered this man enough.
Do you think they
so
followed us here?
in that moment, several things happen. Once again, Hadley, you hear that breaking sound that you heard before, and one of the boards that is covering one of the windows is like burst in.
Crap.
Clearly someone was breaking it. A beam of sunlight streams in, and Enrique kind of falls back, covering his eyes, apparently in pain. And all of you hear a voice outside that just goes, "Delilah, don't take nice to those that squeal, orc!" And there's the sound of breaking glass, and a smell of some very potent, something like kerosene.
Uh-oh.
And there is a burst of fire at the corner of the room, and the wooden boards are aflame.
Getting out of there.
Let's go.
Now, every one of you, I think I'm going to enter into some equivalent of an initiative order, which means if you could all just make me athletics checks, which since none of this was a surprise, you're all aware of this happening. And I'm going to take it one person at a time because there's only certain ways of getting out of the building.
This
And
is
this will add to the
athletics?
tension. Athletics, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have an athletics on my skills.
Which means your athletics is at +0.
But cool.
Everyone may make a roll. You're just not
boosted.
I rolled -3.
Oh, snap!
Oh no.
So bottom of the initiative order, I imagine, is Hadley.
Oh no.
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Got 2 4s and a 6.
What?
No. Yeah. No. What did I roll? I just completely forgot what I rolled.
I just need one number from you.
Yes. Okay. 4. There we go.
4. And you don't have any. You have a score of 0, so the captain will be above you in the initiative because she's more trained at this. So top of the initiative order is courage. You can see that there is like it's quite a small slit in the window. You remember there was the doorway you came in, which is it's like another room away.
Yeah.
Everything is dark, and your dark vision has been completely erased by that sunlight and the sudden fire that is in the corner of the room.
Yeah. I think that Courage might immediately look around to see if there's something that she could use to put the fire out. I don't know if there's like a blanket or something. Is it a small enough fire that you could just smother it, or is it growing?
It is not a small enough fire that you could like immediately. It's not like a little fire. It's definitely like I don't know, like a desk-sized fire.
Okay.
But you do spot a blanket on the floor near you.
Okay. Then yeah, I think that Courage is going to try to grab the blanket and try to like run over and just like throw herself at this fire and try to like start patting it down with the blanket.
Okay, you can run and begin doing that. More information as that unfolds. Captain Atlas.
Can I see out the window?
You can't. It's kind of, when bright light's coming through a thing, it's kind of blinding you.
Yeah, I'm going towards the door. And just say, let's get out of here.
Very well. You make your way. Because it's another room away, you effectively get to the door of this room. And you can see like the faint outline of the door, so you know you're going in the right direction.
Yeah. I want to find out who threw that stuff, so I'm trying to get somewhere where I can either get a visual or something.
Oh, so are you like properly like running?
Yeah.
In which case, you may make me an athletics check to see if you can kind of sprint it without coming up against any obstacles.
Nope, that's going to be a no. That's going to be a no. That's a 1 - 4 is a -3 + 2 -1.
Therefore, you are going to get to the doorway into the next room, but because you're slightly blinded by the sudden light, you kind of bump into the door frame. Like, you find that that's the door and you can keep going, but it's slightly off center to what you're expected to. But so you don't make any more progress. Natalia.
I'm going to try and match the captain's pace and go in through the door after her. So, do I need an athletics check? Yeah. Okay, cool. It's going to be great.
Hopefully it's better than mine.
2.
Yeah, it's better than mine.
And then effectively, you're walking with the captain and you're running with the captain. You know where the door is because you remember coming through it. So you are through the door into the next room, and then you hear the captain bump and go, "Oh no, what?" So you're not too far away.
I'm this way. I'm on the side of my
Hadley.
So Hadley is distracted because there are children, or what he's been told are children, present. So in the dim light provided by this fire, instead of getting out or fighting the fire, he's looking for children to attempt to protect them from fire.
You may make me an investigation check to find this child.
Sweet. Let me see. I think I have something in that. I have a +2 to that. Let's see how badly I can roll this time. 6 - 2 + 2, so a 6.
Oh, superb! Then, you can, as you're looking around, you can see there's like a kind of a bedding situation on the ground that looks like a kind of tiny nest of blankets. And this child is sat there with the blanket over their head and is kind of covering his eyes because the fire is very bright and he is light sensitive.
Yeah. So Hadley will go run over and attempt to pick up this child and take them out of the building.
So the child will not struggle as you pick them up, but he will start crying quite loudly. Because he is distressed, and he opens his eyes as you pick him up, and he gets kind of blinded again, and he doesn't understand, and it isn't nice for him.
Yeah, he just sort of grabs the blanket and pulls it over his head. Like, I'm stealing a child out of this.
And you can hear on his go, Enrique will call out to his son, because he is also looking for him, but is also blinded.
I'm not stealing this kid. as he runs out, as he makes his way towards the door.
Oh, game all over.
Do you have him?
I got him.
So he will kind of try and feel his way out, but it'll take him some time. And then something back to the top. Courage.
So still trying to put out this fire.
Oh yeah.
And
So this fire is quite potent. As you kind of douse on it, you can feel where the glass is broken, and the chemical, whatever it was, starts to soak into the blanket. And you're not certain if that's going to be enough to do it.
Can I try to, like, with the blanket, scoop up the source of the fire and then, like, carry it outside or something?
No, it's definitely very fluid, so it's smashed and spread.
Okay.
You can tell based on your piratical knowledges that this is clearly the work of people. Often do this when they want to burn ships.
Yeah. So is this a thing that is this a fire that I'm going to be able to stop, or is this just?
You think that what you're doing is definitely holding it back, but you can already see the fire beginning to spread down the kind of the rivulets that are on the floor.
Then I guess what Courage would do would be to, like, make that connection, recognize what it is, and then look around and try to find Hadley, and just yell out and be like, and say, Hadley, did you find the child? Are you safe?
I got the kid. I'm getting out of here. Hurry up.
Okay. And then we've got to go. And so Courage is going to leave the blanket there, kind of holding the fire back, but it's time to get out now.
Like, everything I keep saying sounds like I'm stealing this kid.
I'm not stealing this. Well, because the first thing you said was, "I'm not stealing this kid," which is usually what people say.
Yeah.
Give me.
I've got the kid. Let's go. Also, a terrible thing to say.
Oh.
That's not a good noise for you to make.
Oh no!
No, what?
Don't make that noise.
I wasn't doing anything.
No one
Nothing
believes
sinister
you.
over here.
Can I remind you that I have an aspect that I keep my calm in the eye of the storm?
Oh no,
Like a
you are very
firestorm?
calm.
Okay.
Which means you are very calm as your sleeve catches fire.
Oh no.
Do we still have that auto crit thing, or was that used already?
You've been spending your auto crits as you go.
Okay.
So I think all but the captain still has one to go, because the captain keeps rolling to crit. Nevertheless, Courage, from your business of trying to put the fire out, you can definitely tell that the edge of your sleeve caught the kerosene, and it has gone up. Next, Captain Atlas, Capless, if you will.
I am booking it.
Yep. So you may make me another athletics check to try and get outside.
Come on.
Oh, actually, no,
Okay.
wait. Hang on. Stop your rolling. Stop everything. You are able to right yourself. I remember that you are owed a crit. And you effectively, having heard Natalia's voice in the darkness, are able to kind of hone in on her location. Natalia, you can feel the captain sprint past you, and you just burst through the door out into the street. It's very bright, but you're able to recover. And
Who do I see?
You can see a figure in a big, dark, sort of hooded coat, like retreating up the main thoroughfare. Like, you can see, and they're definitely running with that speed of someone who's running from something.
She's gonna yell out, "Come back here, you coward!"
But you definitely have a good view on them. You'll be able to see if they duck out the way or anything. And Natalia, because the door has now been opened, which is casting light in the room, I'm going to say you are able to move and get out of the building without rolling athletics, because you're not running in the dark. So what do you do?
I'm gonna glance back into the fiery bit and go, Courage, Hadley, book it, get out of here. It's gonna go up. And then walking outside and almost bump into the captain, like, oh, okay, we're out.
Yeah, the captain stood at the top of the stairs yelling at this person, and you two can see them retreating away. Next up, Hadley. No, next up, Courage.
No,
wait.
Hadley?
No,
It's
Hadley.
I keep forgetting because you're so
It's
married.
Hadley. Yeah, it's Hadley.
Okay.
It's Hadley.
Yeah, I'm dead last because I'm awful.
Yeah. And now you're weighed down by a child who's holding on to you in
And I'm
a
weighed- yeah.
vice-like grip.
By a heavy, strong child. So who's already outside?
So you can see the captain and Natalia outside, and with the light on, you can also see that there are people coming down the stairs from upstairs, having heard the shouting and smelled the smoke,
Okay.
and who are starting to sort of stream out the front door.
But there are still people inside, right?
You think so, but you couldn't say how many.
Okay, cool. Hadley runs out holding this clamoring child and sort of looks back and forth to everybody and then thrusts it into Natalia's arms.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask you to make me an empathy check.
Okay. I have points in that. I
know, because you're a good doctor.
Well, 1.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
wait. No, I've realised it's probably not empathy, it is probably rapport, which I think you also have.
2.
2.
Yeah.
In which case, it will take a little bit of work, but you are able to basically soothe the child out of your arms because he's stressed and doesn't want to let go of you. So you're able to like adopt your doctor voice and go, "Hey, it's okay, it's okay." Oh,
Give it to Natalia.
Nice Ms. Jones is here, and she's gonna look after you.
Yeah. And then he's gonna run back into the building.
So you're in the doorway. You are able to pull back. That's the face. But you can see now that the fire is starting to really take in that room that you were in. And you can also see kind of stumbling towards you is Enrique, who's still a little bit blind. Courage. Yes. You are in a room with a much bigger fire. You can see it spreading in the pattern you expect.
So the room is on fire and I am on fire, and I think that it's best if I deal with my fire somewhere where the room is not on fire. So it's time to leave this building now.
So as you make it to the doorway, you can feel your sleeves on fire, and it's spreading as you run, and you can feel it starting to get quite hot. And again, you're not panicked. Like you're definitely feeling panicked, but you are keeping it under control. But as you move to leave the room, like holding your arm away from you so it doesn't catch like in your hair and stuff, you can feel something fall out of your inner pocket.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And your bundle of faces bounces into the center of the room, and is now between. It is now right next to the fire, between the fire. It's the fire, the bundle, you, the door.
Okay. Well, I definitely have to stop and go back for them. So I like slide on my heels to a halt and just like dive at the ground, and try to like tackle the bundle of parchment. And then I guess, do I need to roll for that?
I'm gonna ask for an athletics check.
Okay.
But you're going to be rolling at a -2 because you're on fire, and so is your life.
Okay.
Oh
I'm crossing all my appendages.
Okay, I rolled a 6 - 1, so 5.
no! Yeah.
Plus nothing because my athletics is 2.
Yeah, that's fine. So you are able to take up the bundle in your not on fire hand.
Yeah, this one.
But you can feel the heat of the fire on your face, and it's prickling, and your arm is starting to hurt. Captain Atlas.
I'm chasing after that cloak figure, just being like, "Come back here, you coward."
Superb. Then I'm going to require from you an athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, spaghetti.
Okay, so I rolled a 6 -3 +2, so a 5.
That 6 rolling die is wild.
Phenomenal.
I haven't rolled all crits, just want to be clear. I haven't been rolling all crits.
Hardly anything. So you basically vault off the stairs because there's a sort of little like a banister on them. You just spring over that and enter into a dead run behind this this figure. And although they have a bit of a head start on you, you are able to gain a bit of ground. Next up, Natalia.
I'm going to look at this abomination in my hand. Look at where the captain's running. Look back at this baby. Take this clamoring child. Just shove that baby at Enrique and just be like, nope, stop around with that. Turn on my heels and sprint after my captain.
Wait, has
I'm going to require a quick rapport roll from you.
Yeah. Oh dear, 1.
Oh no!
Then I am afraid that although you wait a few seconds to try and pass this child over to the slightly blinded father, his hands are gripping your shoulders, and it's like with the strength of a much bigger man. This baby does not want to let go of you.
Take the baby.
Don't shake the baby.
And you are unable to do that this turn. Hadley, you are stood like not quite in the doorway because Enrique was ahead of you, but you are definitely you have the room behind you. Although you can't fully see into the fiery room because it's very bright, but you are aware that your wife has not come into this room.
Are there more people streaming down the stairs?
Yeah, they're coming past you.
Okay, and they can see the door. Like they are able to make it out.
You think some of them are humans, some of them are orcs, or equivalent. So some of them are kind of coming down and like sort of moving their way towards the door.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a bottleneck building up, but like they definitely seem to be able to find their way out because the door is quite bright.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to ensure that they can do that. Like I'm going to walk by and like put hands on shoulders as much as I can to like make them a chain to get them out safely, while kind of looking around for courage. Like I'm confident that she can get herself out of here more than these weirdos can. But the fact that I don't see her is concerning.
Yeah, you are starting to feel concerned because you can see how quickly that fire is spreading. And so, like, next up is courage.
Okay. So I'm probably like still mostly on the ground because I've got like one arm that's on fire out, one arm that's like around holding the bundle of packages tightly to me, and I'm like kind of like we got like an elbow and two knees to help shuffle along the ground, and the one sort of like fiery arm, and so I'm just trying to like crawl, I guess, out of this fiery building as fast as I can.
Okay, what I'm going to require from you then is a trying to think. I think that will still be an athletics check, but can I ask you, what is your physique score?
Physique is 2.
Okay, so in which case I'm going to ask you for an athletics check, but again at a -2, because you are starting to feel a little bit lightheaded.
Okay, so another athletics check. Oh no.
Oh no.
So that's a 2 minus 3 is a -1.
Oh no.
So you are able to sort of do a tiny bit of a combat roll. Like you're moving, you're kind of, you've moved a little way away from the fire, but as you move, quite tired from the smoke in the air, your leg is trailing behind you, and you can feel, although you've tried to keep your knee up, you can feel your the cuff of your trouser touch something cold and liquid, and you feel a sort of sinking feeling as you realize that your boot has gone into another puddle of this liquid, and the room is getting like sweatingly hot.
Yeah.
Captain Atlas.
Okay, so I've got 2 ideas, and I'm not sure which one would be the way to do this, because I still have the person in visual, right?
Definitely.
And they can hear me shouting at them.
You think so? Like,
okay,
they haven't responded, but they're definitely within shouting range.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if I could try to provoke to get them to stop, or if, because like it doesn't. My stunt Wrath of the Skies doesn't seem like it would really apply here. But I wasn't sure like which one would be.
So I think you have got enough on your side that if you decided you wanted to shout something like, you know, using your reputation to try and command them to stop, then I would let you make that provoke roll.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Bring it.
Stop there now, you coward, or I will make everything and everyone in your life a living hell.
Not a good face.
Not a crit.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, so I rolled 3 minus 2 is 1, plus 4 is a 5.
Then what is going to happen is, as you shout that, it comes out with enough kind of force that this figure sort of keeps running and turns to look at you, because they didn't know who was chasing them, and you sound really serious. And as they turn, they make absolute face contact with a stack of boxes that they were expecting to run around, and bounce off and go sprawling along with all the boxes across the wharf,
Awesome.
giving you a chance to catch up
Okay.
sort of at good pace. Natalia, you have witnessed this.
So I've just seen that. I've still got a screaming child.
Wait. What? Oh,
Wait,
the child.
Yeah.
I was like, why is everyone screaming?
I'm gonna say, Hadley, where's your wife? I look around.
Hadley's inside the
Yeah, he's
house.
inside the door.
So
So you look around and see no one except you and a screaming baby and Enrique the orc.
However, because I'm not a monster, because now Enrique is properly out of the building, he is going to take his son off you because he is able to talk to his son, and his son wants to be with his father. And so, although there is still screaming and reacting, you are able to give up the baby.
have your baby.
No,
Have your baby.
no, it's a good baby. This is my sweet boy.
Natalia kind of peers around the door, trying to see where they are. Peers around the other side to see where the captain is, and notices this sprawled figure on the floor, just kind of flailing and holding his head. Oh God! Can see the captain.
You can see neither Trelawney.
I can't see any of those guys. So she goes back into the building.
Very well. In which case you move back into the building and you are able to, you have to move past the people. So I'm going to say you get to reach Hadley this turn, who is stood, you can see him kind of guiding the last of the people out and looking back towards the burning room. And speaking of which, Hadley, it's your go.
This is the story about how we hunted a pirate queen and burned to death in a building instead.
Never let it be say I don't run a dramatic game.
Only the captain made it out alive. Yeah, so I'm gonna look around, seeing Natalia coming towards me. I kind of look back to her and I say, "Get everyone out! I have to find Courage." And I'm gonna look around and try to find Courage.
Well, since she hasn't left the room that's on fire, you would hazard a guess that she's in the room that's on fire.
Perfect. I go to the room that's on fire. I head that way.
Because you can see the doorway. I'm not going to make you roll athletics because the room is fairly well lit. You arrive in the doorway and smoke billows out into your face. But as you kind of peer through the smoke, you can see her. For a second, your heart stops because she's lying out on the floor. And then you can see her coughing, so you know that she is still alive and conscious, which are two good things. But you can see that her outstretched arm is all wreathed in fire, and there is fire licking up her leather boot.
Can I see that she's holding onto the pictures from
they are tucked under her arm, which is clearly why she's struggling to combat roll.
There's a moment where I think about just leaving, and then I crawl.
That's fair.
She deserved this. And then I crawl down towards her outstretched arm and try to reach for it.
I'm going to allow you to get through smoke because you can see it and you're kind of covering your mouth. I'm going to need you to make me a physique check.
Cool. I have no points in that. So
no, because you are a twig man.
Yeah. -1.
No!
You're able to reach your hand onto
fire.
You're able to hold
gonna die.
You are able to hold on to her, but on the -1, you're not able to pull her towards you.
Okay.
Because she is a grown woman and you're not very strong.
Yeah.
And you're at a funny angle. However, Courage, it is your turn.
Okay.
Your husband is here.
It's good. So that gives me more hope.
I'm here to die with you in solidarity.
But I have identified that my foot is in something that is more on fire. And so I think it's time to lose my boot and see if I can get out of there and leave the boot that's on fire behind.
I'm going to say because of the angle you're at, you're able to kick your flaming boot. You basically kick the fire and your boot flies off and you can hear it thump into the wall.
And so I'm not then that's a little bit less fire that I have to deal with immediately. And maybe even Hadley isn't quite strong enough to like pull me, but maybe now that like if we're working together, I can pull myself toward him, and the two of us can kind of like scoot toward the door and away from fire.
I'm going to ask you to make me an athletics check.
All right.
And I'm going to give you a +2 because you are heartened by the presence of your husband.
Aww.
Don't touch my husband. Fire.
Don't! How dare you fire?
Oh, I rolled 2 6s.
Oh.
Well, that's the same as any.
So nothing. +2.
Oh, well, at least +2. I'm going to say that you are able to kind of, now that you are not, your boot is not.
So it's maybe, so you were going to, so my athletics is 2, and then you give me another 2. So it's 4. Okay, so 4.
Brilliant. Then you are able to kick your boot off into the fire and kind of scramble like half to your feet, but like on one knee to keep your head down out of the smoke. And you are able to stand up and like, because he's holding your hand, you pull him with you through the door into the other room. Although both of you get a sort of massive face full of smoke as you go, and you can feel the fire spreading behind you. Captain Atlas, you are stood above the figure in question. What I'm going to do is, because I imagine what you're going to want to do is interrogate this person.
Yeah, I'm grabbing by the throat, lifting up, shoving against the wall.
Damn.
So I'm going to say that you have this person pinned.
I have no chill with the pirate queen.
And you are in a dramatic space until this combat ends. Okay. And then you will have as much time as you want to perform an interrogation, not in combat rounds, because that would kind of rob it of a bit of momentum. But you are able to intimidate this person into place.
Bam.
Captain, no, not Captain, mutiny, Captain Joe, Natalia. Damn!
I'm not dead yet!
I'm gonna start kind of trying to get these people round the stairs and out as safely and as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's easy. They want to be free of the fire.
Yeah, and then shout into the room.
Don't we all?
Hadley, is everything okay? Assuming that Hadley can hear me.
Hadley can hear you and can respond?
Yeah, through coughs, through a fit of smoke-laden coughs, you would hear Hadley respond with, "Courage is fine. She can't die until I kill her."
So Natalia is then just gonna go, "Oh shit! Run past, scoot past these people who are trying to get out and try to get to the kind of the door before the room that's on fire."
Okay. As the last of the people trickle out of the building, and start assembling far away from the building that's on fire, what I'm going to say now is, because there are no extra issues that are going to be facing you, the three of you are able to get out and away with the help of Natalia. You come out of the main door and move away from the building that's on fire. However, Courage is still slightly on fire. But because you've waited to get out of the building, you can feel that your arm is starting to blister, and it hurts quite a lot. But between Hadley and Natalia, the fire will be able to be put out.
Okay. I was willing to part with my boot, but not the jacket.
No. Like, it might need fixing.
It also was purchased as a dope shit store.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dope shit pirate store. Dope shit.
Dope ass.
Sorry, the Dope Ass Emporium. That's what it was.
Yeah. Dope Ass Emporium, where all your dreams come true.
Yeah.
And you are able to see and regroup with the captain,
who is holding someone by the throat.
Now, yeah. So I'm just very quickly going to need to go to the loop because I've drank too much iced coffee, but I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
That's good, because I do too.
The argument between Hadley and Courage coincides. I can't believe all those pictures. Why?
They were gonna burn. I couldn't let them die again.
Now you burnt. Now you almost died.
Yeah, but we made it out. It's okay.
I swear. You put your own cream on that. I'm helping you. Where's your shoe? How did you...
It's somewhere. I think it's in the building. And it's not.
Natalia, don't get married. It's not worth it.
After seeing this, no intention. I'm fine. Thanks, I'd rather not be on fire.
Yeah. That's what marriage is like. I'm on fire all the time.
Look.
Being the first mate's bad enough.
One mate's bad enough. Let alone a first or a second. Oh, man. Oh. God damn.
You know.
This has been silly nonsense. So while everyone's gone, I'll remind you guys, we crushed the goal. We're sitting at almost 300 doll hairs, which is over our goal for 250. And if we hit 500 doll hairs, which is a closer goal than it was 2 hours ago, we'll be over $5,000 for the year for charity,
Nice.
which is crazy since it's only the third month of the year. So that's pretty dope. Yeah, and for all of you guys that are new and joining from all these hosts and raids and all that fun stuff, the donations are down below, or you can just throw money at us because it's for kids, and you know they're sick, and we want to save sick kids. Oh, the GM's back.
Unless they're an orc in a
Yeah.
burning building, in which case, no, fuck that.
Yeah,
We still
then
want
it's
to save them,
questionable.
but it's a little bit more uncomfortable.
Yeah, we want to save them slightly less than we want to save other.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
To be
We
fair.
argued the whole time.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah.
No, I was miming.
Yeah, it's a different thing entirely.
So yeah, you were able to argue on your way up, and Hadley, you're able to see that her arm is quite it's quite discolored,
Yeah.
and that is going to hurt. And if you don't heal it in the fullness of time, it will probably get infected. But it seems okay for now.
Yeah.
Sweet. And jumping back into things, Fallen One donates a crit to Bun Bun. And he says, because accents are amazing things.
Yay!
What I miss? Nothing. Now you have your hand around the throat of this arsonist. And you can see those people who are moving up to you. You can see that the building is now properly on fire, and there are people running out with bucket chains to try and put it out. And you have this person pinned, and you can see that he seems to be quite a young guy, with a hood up and a mask.
I'm pulling that crap off right off the bat, and then holding him. Go. Depending how you talk in the next few minutes will determine your future. Speak. And I don't know if I need to make an intimidation roll or what.
You can make me a provoke check.
Cool. I promise. I'm not. I did. Well, we'll see what happens if I roll a 6. I promise. I'll switch my dice. Yeah, I rolled a 6 and a 1 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9.
Then what's going to happen is because a provoke check can only work. It works in different ways depending on who you're engaging with. So you've successfully intimidated this person, and that will lead them to respond in specific ways. So what he's going to do is he's going to spit at you, and snarl and say, "All hail, dread pirate Delilah!"
Gonna slap.
I'll never talk.
Gonna slap him into oblivion.
You can see a big angry red mark on his face.
Yeah. I can either make this very painful or very quick. Where is she?
Commanding the seven skies as is deserving of her station.
I don't care about where she's sailing. Where is she now?
You'll never get me to talk.
I'm gonna start squeezing the windpipe a little bit.
Ooh, kin.
Hadley.
Ooh, scalpel time.
Doctor.
So, these things you sent me are stunts, right?
The
list of things. So I think this is called surgery to the best and the worst.
I'm assuming we're kind of dragging him into an alley at this point too.
Oh no, I remember this stunt.
Yeah.
So surgery to the best and the worst. What does that do?
Yeah, so it's the opposite of my other one, which is empathetic bond. So I get a +2 to all surgery rolls made under stressful circumstances, and the fact that this man lit my wife on fire is a stressful circumstance, despite that she's dumb and went back to those pictures and did it to herself. It's still ultimately his fault. So the fact that he's not giving my captain answers, that friendly scalpel comes out. Everyone's friendly scalpel.
We're torturing this dude.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, for the sake of the delicate and squeamish in the audience.
Yes, I don't want to go into like details about it. Just
I'm going to allow you to make me a medicine roll, which is law.
Okay.
So you make that at a +2, and I shall decide based on that the quality of the horrible things that you do.
So lore plus my fate thing, or plus my stunt, is a +5. So let me go ahead and roll that.
Oh, come on, please do good.
A 6 and a 1.
Yeah!
+5.
So effectively, to any people who are in any doubt in the crew of just how absolutely sinister Hadley Trelawney can be, which I imagine based on the members of the party might be Natalia, who's never seen this side of Hadley before. There is a kind of pure, unsettled anger with very competent surgery, and it's not nice.
It's full body, barely noticeable, but very, very painful paper cuts, essentially, everywhere. So you can't see that he was tortured, but he knows.
And this guy, who is quite fanatically loyal to the Dread Pirate, does not break easily, but will eventually, through his anguished screams, reveal to you that she is at the wharf with the view of the mountain. So the first one that was said, but he will laugh in a fairly unsettling way, despite the fact that he is clearly in a lot of pain, and say, "We are too late. She's already gone. You're too late."
What color's her ship? It's the last information I want.
Lilac like the dawn sky.
And then, unless anyone has any other questions, Captain Atlas gives the sign to Hetley to end it, to kill him.
Yeah. And there's just a fine stroke of the scalpel, and it is as painless as possible.
I'm going to tie that into your first roll and say that, yes, it is perfectly done. It is a little unsettling how quickly he dies. But, the Trelawneys are nothing if not masters of violence.
Talia vomits a little in his mouth. And it's like, oh!
Captain Atlas, Courage, search the body.
And so giving Headley a moment to pull himself back together, and Courage is going to reach down, she's kind of like holding the burned arm close to her body, but just going through the guy's pockets with her other arm, trying to find.
He doesn't really have much. You think he has a rag in his pocket that you think might have been like a spare in case the first one didn't light. He has a flint and steel for lighting the thing, and he has a very small purse of coin.
Yeah, definitely taking that.
As in the purse is small, not the coins.
Okay.
He has gaudy, large coins.
Oh no.
Who wants those?
Captain Atlas would put a hand on the shoulder of Hadley, blah, 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 and go, "Well done." And then pat Natalia on the back. "Let's go. We know where to go." Or, well, I guess,
She touched me.
Based on the fact that the ship, that he said, the ship is already in the sky.
Yeah, I was just going to say, probably the wharf is not where we're going to want to go.
You imagine the best place is probably, depending on how long it is that she's gone, considering that you know that she's been seen recently, and you now know the color of her ship, it might be worth chasing her rather than...
Yeah.
Also,
Wrath and Spite?
Yes. And it's med bay.
Yeah, you would see Hadley reach under the apron and pull out a cloth and wipe it off, and then look down at Courage to search the body and say, "I'll deal with you later." And, and no one's sure what that means.
I have additional questions.
No.
So, cut to the The Rathan's boat is in the air. Captain Atlas at the helm. Now, the description of the ship is that it is a very small, nippy ship, and involves the steering, which is done by Captain Atlas, which is a system of wind kites. But Natalia Jones is the one that has to kind of physically move the ship based on like controlling the sails with two handles that she has. But we'll cut to the Trelawneys, who are just finishing up healing Courage's arm. It's basically bandaging it.
Yeah.
With a rather sort of nasty poultice.
I imagine it's more of the same argument for the entire time. As she's just laid down on the bed. I can't believe all the pictures? Every single one. You went back for all of them. You lost your shoe.
They're important. We can get other shoes. There probably won't be more wanted posters. Like you said, they're all dead. Like no one is making more wanted posters for them. Like these are important. I need to find some place to memorialize them.
I will
hang them in the map room or something.
You're not a pirate anymore.
I know, but I can't. But I was, and and these people they were pirates, but they were still people. They were family to me for a while.
Well, we're family now, and that's that's like the scene ender, the sad scene ender as he ties the bandage off aggressively.
Yeah, it's probably very tight.
Yeah.
And as you come back up on deck, and take your places, Hadley takes up his spot towards the front of the ship. And sort of lifts his spyglass. And you've been flying now for a few hours, following sort of certain of the patterned routes that follow. And ahead of you, Hadley, as you put the glass to your eye, you can see a small-ish, like slightly larger than your ship, but a small sky vessel that seems to be smoking, like plumes of smoke are coming off it, but it's very far in the distance, so you can't quite tell why.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Can we get a closer look at it?
You can get closer to it, but you'll have to report back to the captain, who will decide where the ship goes.
Okay. And is that a Hadley thing? I thought I was damaged. Am I damaged?
No, that's your wife.
Okay.
Oh.
So Hadley is lookout. He's up in a high place, and is monitoring damage to the ship. The captain steers it. Natalia controls it. Courage fires the big fuck off fiery gun.
Okay.
Cannon.
So I guess. Is there like Courage will like using kind of favoring one arm over the other, return the gun toward the other ship and sort of flag down the captain and say captain and point and
report.
I forget the description of the ship. Hang on. My brain
you think it's on fire.
Okay, Captain. It looks like they're already on fire. There's been so much fire today, but maybe they've had an accident. This might be the perfect time to shoot them down.
What color is the ship?
It's just wood.
It's just wood.
That's not what we're looking for.
All right. Maybe they. Oh, right. Though. So maybe this is. Sorry, my arm hurts very much. Maybe they've been recently hit by the pirate. I think we're on the right course.
Excellent. Leave the ship alone. We stir around. Keep your eyes out. It could be a trap.
Okay.
Do you approach the vessel?
I'm not going straight for the vessel. I would want to keep it in eyesight, but be going around it. We're not me as the captain is directing that we're not touching that ship. I don't care if there's people. She doesn't care. I care. I don't normally. I play normally more empathetic characters.
I've made you a bitch. It's fine.
No, it's okay. I'm really liking it. It's fun.
The norm. It's good.
Yeah. She doesn't care if there's people screaming or whatever. We're going around it and keeping an eye out for directing Hadley to keep an eye out.
So you'll be steering kind of off, as it were, the there are these air currents that are easier to fly through. You're
Yeah,
steering slightly off track for that. So Natalia, I'm going to ask you to make me a drive check because there is a lot more resistance in the sails up here.
So that's a 7.
So
Nice.
you're able to catch a prevailing wind and like sweep around. And as you sweep around, you can see that there are sort of a big bank of like cloud or possibly fog that isn't smoke, that is kind of nearish to the ship. And Hadley, could you please make me a notice check?
I can.
I'd like you to.
If my
That would
computer-
suit me well.
Okay, so a 2 and a 2, so a 0. Oh, I have a +4 to notice, so a 4. Hell yeah.
Yes. You are on the lookout for a reason, good sir. You think you can see a shape in that bank of
God dang it.
fog.
Yeah, so he's gonna call down from what makes for the crow's nest of this place, and he calls down and says, "Ship in the fog."
Encourage would relay that ship in the fog, and point and probably she would have had the arbalest or whatever the big crossbow thing like pointed at the ship we were kind of dodging around just in case it was a trap of some sort, and now she's going to rotate it around to point at the big cloud.
Yeah. You remove the pin, turn it, like slot it back in.
Yeah.
Because you know that the arbalest has spun around and knocked you down before.
Yeah.
Because it's a big angry crossbow, of which, by the way, you have 4 shots for.
Okay.
Everyone prepare.
And again, the ship sort of turns around, and you can see now that the looking at the other ship. If it is a decoy, it is a very good decoy because you think that the deck is littered with the bodies of the crew who. The ship has been completely ransacked and has just been left to burn. And seeing a sky ship on fire is quite a big thing because bits keep falling off into the mist below. And you know that most sky ships have some description of gas that's keeping them aloft. And when that goes up, that is going to go up spectacularly. But whatever ship is nearby seems to be skirting quite close to it. But no ship moves out of the fog. What do you do?
So is there anything that we can do to have, like, steer ourselves into cover at all? Or are we pretty much, like, out in the open right now?
Unfortunately, this ship is occupying the only patch of cover.
I mean, still keeping a distance from the decoy and just going to steer around and kind of come around and prepare to battle.
Based on Natalia's brilliant roll from before, I'm going to have, I'm just going to say the ship continues to sort of bank around, catching the air as it comes around, and out of the fog, with 2 torches lighting up at the front, you're not certain of the purpose of which, you see a ship that you have only seen once before, the last time you were close to tracking down the dread pirate Delilah. The whole ship towards the back is bedecked in lights and flags of different colour, famously taking flags of all the ships that she has raided or destroyed. And it is like a sort of beautiful, dramatic, fluttering...
I'm assuming she has the flag from the Sugar and Spice on there.
Pride of place.
Yeah.
And it's almost like wings. There are so many like rustling flags, and as the ship rises up out of the fog, the wind catches them and it makes this kind of ominous rattling noise. And on the deck, which is much higher on this than it would be on another ship, you can see a figure at the helm, and all of you recognized the long trailing blue hair that is almost like a flag itself. She wears no hat because her hair is her signifier, but all of you are fairly certain that you are looking upon the lilac hull of the Hesperus, commanded by the dread pirate queen Delilah.
So what weapons does our ship have? Just the crossbow thing?
You have a big fuck off, like it's like a cannon,
yeah,
but it is a crossbow that is a hull piercing crossbow, And you know that normally the goal for ship combat is to like circle and fire and then get closer and either board or take pot shots at the other crew. But since 3 of you are not armed with ranged weapons, boarding is usually the done thing.
Yeah, and this was purchased at the fuck off ship's arms and armory. As opposed to the
subsidiary of the big ass
the dope ass emporium.
Yeah.
It's a sister company of the dope ass emporium.
Okay, so if I just understood correctly, more than likely we are geared to board a ship, not take it on from range.
Yeah. But you can take it on from range.
Well, yeah, but we don't have that much to. Okay. And then also I forgot to ask, what weapons do we personally have? Do we have like, cutlass or?
You have a sword. It's not a pirate weapon. It's
okay.
It's just a standard short sword for close weapon fighting. You probably also have like a knife or something, but
yeah. Okay.
I have a crossbow.
Gotcha. We get to that ship. We take them on. She's mine.
Okay.
And you can hear a cry go up from the crew of the Hesperus. There are a few more of them than there are of you. And a bolt from their ship's arbalest whistles past yours. You aren't certain if it's a miss or a warning shot, but it is very close.
She can't hear me because I'm assuming.
Can I see the bolt missing?
Yeah, the bolt definitely misses.
Okay.
You're welcome to shout whatever you want, but she might not hear you.
She's just gonna be yelling, "Come face me, you bitch!"
I'm probably gonna turn. If we're coming in from that way, are we facing them like side on?
No, you're facing head to head, and I know that in the air battles are 3D, but that's too much for my brain. So you're just mostly going to be on the same plane unless you want to be above them.
So I'm going to go port. I'm going to bank port and just see if I can tilt the ship a little bit to stop them firing just another direct shot, so we're not stationary.
Yeah, you may make the evasive maneuvers with your drive.
Nice. Uh-oh.
That's not. I wasn't sure if that was a good noise or not.
Oh, yeah, 4.
4. Yeah, you're able to bank around. You think you've at least taken yourself out of whatever aim they had, and you know they'll have to adjust that arbalest this time. Next up, courage. What do you do?
So I want to try to fire this arbalest at, I don't know if I can be this specific, but I'd like to try to find like. I don't know how. Probably, I'm reasonably familiar with how airships work. I want to try to shoot at whatever mechanism they use to turn.
Oh, nice!
Shut down their maneuverability.
Nice.
Well, you can see because of the size of this ship, they have several banks of the kites that carry the wind and steer you around, and they are all controlled centrally by a much neater mechanism than what Natalia uses. But the fact that Natalia does a lot of different things that actually make it much harder to target one specific thing. Yeah. So you can see the mechanism at the center.
Yeah.
But it will be a difficult shot.
Okay.
So you may make me a shoot at a -2.
Okay. All right. So
my dramatic battle music just kicked in.
Nice.
So I rolled a 6 and a 5. So 1 plus 4 minus 2.
2.
So 2.
So you can feel the kind of the as you steer the arbalest round in line with Natalia's moving. The bolt whistles out and smashes through a portion of the mechanism and sends splinters across the deck, and two deckhands kind of dive out of the way. And you're pretty sure you see the strings on one side of the ship go slightly loose, but it hasn't fully knocked out all of their maneuverability.
Okay.
And Hadley, you can see that they are tilting their arbalest around, for they have two. Their arbalest around on the side that you're on to take another shot at you.
Yeah, and he again shouts back down, Prepare to take fire. Missile incoming.
Now, how successful is that? The shot, unfortunately, is too high for what it should be, unless you think they're aiming at your gas bag. But that's kind of a mad thing to do, since most pirates like to take ships intact. But maybe she's just angry enough to want to destroy you. It shears through a couple of the kite strings that sort of flap off into the breeze, but not enough to actually ruin your ship's maneuverability. Captain, what do you want to do now?
I want to get us as close as we can so we can board.
Very well. The instruction goes up to Natalia to get close.
Cool.
Make me another roll.
I'm going to go in starboard hard.
Harboard.
Harboard at 6.
Ooh,
Nice.
Then yeah, once again you're able to bank hard around and sort of swing your way down towards the ship, which because you've done so well actually manages to keep the arbalest mostly in the arc of the ship. So Courage, if you want to take another shot at something, you can. They seem to be trying to bank back around, but it's not going well for them.
Yeah, so they have 2 arbalists and they fired twice, right?
Yeah.
So the first one is probably, well, is it like a reloading thing, or is it a roar the wrong side thing? I basically want to shoot at whatever arbalest they have that I think will shoot at us next.
Well, you know that both crews, both arbalests are manned with actual crews of people that like are reloading them as you go. So whatever side you're on, they're going to shoot at you. So shoot at whatever arbalest is closest.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So shoot again. Okay. 3 minus 1 is 2 plus 4 is 6 minus. Is that minus 2 again, or is that?
No. The minus 2 to 4 was because of the angle you were at, but Natalia was doing very well. That bolt, like it almost hurts your heart because arbalests are so difficult to make and they're so beautiful, but it shatters through it. And the 2 that are crewing it kind of fall to the floor. You think kind of knocked out by the blast of this thing that just erupts out and leaves a kind of hole in that side of the deck wall. Hadley, you can see that they are trying to turn their ship so that the other arbalest is facing you. But as Natalia is doing very well at getting closer, they are mostly appear to be preparing to take on boarders. So people have dropped back from the ropes, weapons are being drawn.
Can I use like a maybe notice to see any potential weaknesses that we could fire on before we board the ship?
When you say weaknesses, what is it that you're attempting to stop them doing?
Basically a way to disable the ship. Like if I can blow something, if I can have Courage blow something up or damage something that could cause the ship to crash, that would draw people away towards that, so that we can board and not have 30 people we board onto and just the 4 of us. Basically like almost a distraction.
You think that the best thing for that would be if you can get her to fire on the mast, which is kind of holding up a lot of the mechanisms involved in flying the ship.
Okay.
It would be the best way of damaging the ship without blowing it up, which is not what you want because you have to be on board it.
Right. Yeah, so he would call down and say something along the lines of, they're preparing to be boarded. Fire on the mast. To try to get the attention down there.
So Courage, you're able to make another roll.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Don't make that noise.
So that's a -2 plus 4 is 2.
You think that the arbalest bolt like flies through. The mast is very thick. This is a much sturdier ship than yours is, and it like wings it effectively. Like it shatters off splinters, but then goes flying and sticks in the deck of the ship. You think it will take something more to actually burst through where you were, but now that the arbalest is actually lined up, you think you have enough for one more shot before you get close enough. Natalia, could you make me a drive check, please?
Yeah, sure.
I should probably call it a fly check, but
Drive that airplane.
6 again.
woo!
I am full of 6s today.
Then you are fairly certain that you have managed this curve beautifully that your ship is going to not only pull up next to theirs, but is going to be ever so slightly above them. So when you attack from
Nice.
above.
Nice. Well done.
And yes, Hadley, you can see that they have started to, based on how good that fly was, you've still managed to take them by surprise on what side you're pulling up on.
Okay.
So they have not managed to be ready for you. But there is a certain amount of preparedness happening. You think there are about 6 people on the deck of the ship, and more coming down from the rigging.
I'm yelling. Captain Vivian's still yelling out, white knuckled the.
Absolutely zero chill.
Yeah. Zero chill. Come face me.
So, Courage, you have one more shot, I believe.
I do, yeah. Does my one last make the last one count stunt work just for this? Because you had written special repeating crossbow, but I wasn't sure if this.
No, any crossbow, I figured.
Okay, cool.
But I imagined that you would be using your crossbow earlier, but
yeah.
I guess.
I was too busy being on fire. Yeah.
That's a good enough excuse for me.
Yeah.
So I guess unless anyone else has any better idea, I'll take another shot at the mast.
Yeah.
And try to distract them. So I guess now that here's how so the way that the make the last one count thing will work is as we're getting closer, we're maybe getting we're getting within the distance that we were about to board, so they can probably hear us a lot more, and if they can hear me over the captain shouting constantly, and Courage is just gonna lock that the arbalast in and just kind of shout at them some profanity laced
piratical profanity.
Yeah.
But that's not their words.
Yeah. I'm communicating with them in their language.
Cool.
And so I'm going to roll.
Speaking pirates can't.
Yeah. So that's so it's a -3 plus 4 is a 1.
Oh.
Plus whatever the make the last one count does.
However, make the last one count adds a bonus. So because you had already taken a chunk out of the mast before, what I'm going to say is that the arbalest bolt flies true. You can almost see it moving in slow motion between the two ships. It does not pass through the mast, but it flies in and sticks firm, so that you can see the bolt coming out the back of the mast.
Okay.
The mast seems to be holding its place, but there are cracks starting to show.
That's fine. That's good.
And Natalia, you effectively drag down on the kites with all of your strength to build the ship, to bring the ship to a stop.
Yeah.
As much as you can above the Hesperus. And Hadley fires out the hook to keep the ship roughly in place. But you have options. What are you to do?
I'm grabbing my sword and going for those who have fallen.
I'm probably gonna drop all my hand controls and my rigging and get myself out to where the captain is, draw my sword with a look of grim determination, saying nothing.
Courage?
Good.
I guess my best move is probably I set down the controls of the arbalast, probably throw down an extra bolt to keep it from rocking it now that I'm not manning it, and grab. There's probably a footlocker or something nearby for the supplies where she keeps her big ass crossbow, and so I think that the thing might be to just hang out on our ship because we did end up a little bit higher. So I'll have a height advantage, and then just aim down the crossbow and protect the captain.
Nice.
Sniping.
Are you on the ship, Captain Vivian?
Not yet. I think I'm on the edge with the railing.
Yeah.
And just I'm ready to go. So I'm looking at all you.
Is there a way I can swing to the ship?
There is one 100% away you can swing to the ship.
Okay. So absolutely throwing caution to the wind and forgetting everything that the captain said.
Oh, no.
Hadley swings onto the ship while screaming, "You lit my wife on fire!"
Can you please make me an athletics check?
Yeah, I can
at a +2, because that is your wife.
I can sure do that.
And then, yeah, whatever we need to do to cross over.
I crit +2.
Nice.
So,
Hell
effectively, Vivian and Natalia, because of the expert way Natalia has put you in place, you can literally just vault over and be on the deck. So you're able to vault over and take 2 of the sailors by surprise. Everything I've learned from ship-to-ship combat, I have learned from playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So, in my head, what the 2 of you do, because I imagine you're in a take-no-prisoners frame of mind, you vault over the side of your ship and land sword first into 2 of the pirates. Because
and then
take no prisoners, bed no men's pardon, and Hadley is able to pretty much land wherever you want on the deck of the Hesperus.
Yeah, I basically just land right next to them and then pull my cutlass out.
I'm gonna pick up my sword and point it at the pirate queen.
She is a little obscured because she's still at her wheel, and there's like flags and things flying all around her. She seems to be letting her crew take care of you.
Vivian's gonna yell out, "I'm coming for you, Delilah! Face me!"
And you feel a crossbow bolt like erupt at the deck by your feet. She seems to have taken a shot at you. Tick, 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 tick. Courage. You have run across the side of the ship and taken up your place with your crossbow bolt. You can see all of this happening in a sort of bird's eye way.
So there's a whole bunch of people that are of their crew that are running towards our crew, correct?
Oh yes.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to. So Courage would cheer as Hadley kind of swings over in a really dramatic way.
He looks real dashing.
Yeah.
She
but
swoons for a second.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we're in a pirate battle.
Yeah, but then immediately realize that there is a horde of enemy pirates running and take a shot at whoever is the one closest to Hadley.
Very well. Make me your shot.
All right. So that's 5.
A 5, yeah. Effectively for that, particularly for these pirates, you shoot them with the crossbow, which is effectively souped up crossbow. So the bolt sort of flies out and just takes that pirate completely down. And again, you can see them running towards Hadley with like a cutlass drawn. They just fly back, and you slide the bolt forward, and another bolt rises up from the little mechanism underneath. This was a custom job, and you're very proud of it.
Yeah.
Next up, Natalia.
Cool. I am going to lock eyes with the closest pirate to me. And ready myself for battle.
In which case, you may make me a fight check, effectively as a parry, because he will be swinging his cutlass down towards you.
5.
So that's actually probably roll. That is more than enough. You are able to kind of swing the blade to the side. You're trained in police fighting style, so you're much neater than these clumsy pirates. Are you planning on killing this pirate?
Yep.
You will not be able to achieve that so far, but you are able to kind of slash at them. And he kind of drops back. You can see a kind of zeal in the eyes of these pirates. They seem very convinced that Delilah is the first best thing ever.
Yeah.
And Hadley, you drop down, and with your kind of ability for detail, you're aware that you're kind of surrounded by pirates on 2 sides. 2 of them are running towards you, and then one of them just flies back out of your field of vision.
So it occurs to me that I'm not good at fighting. But I'm good.
I like that you've realized that.
But I'm really good at cutting people open. So can I use lore to fight these people and just aim for vital spots?
I tell you what, you can make me a lore check to add a bonus to your fight roll if you
Dope.
succeed.
All right, cool. lawyered.
Snap.
So I would make a lore check. With a
And you can
plus
only
3.
do this because you are good at stress surgery.
Yeah. So 5 minus 3 is 2, plus the 3 for my lore, so a 5.
Very
On
well,
board.
in which case you may make me a fight check at a +2.
Yeah. All right, cool. Minus 1.
You can't say you didn't try.
Yeah.
So you hold your sword and you spend so long like thinking, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go for this man's, he's got a bit of exposed skin here, and you're like, there are a lot of nasty arteries there. I'm gonna swing down at that. And he takes the opportunity to see you kind of looking at him to drop his sword down and slice up at your arm.
Oh, dang.
Oh
I
no.
deserve that.
It's not. Give me a second. Let's roll for it. Oh, what shit is that? It's not a very good hit. In fact, he kind of underestimates how far you are, and actually hits you with the haft of the sword with his fist in it. So kind of he almost like sword punches your arm, which hurts but doesn't cut you open.
Right, yeah.
But he is now like right up in your face, and like he has rotten teeth and he
Gross.
smells bad.
Gross. I don't like any part of that.
Captain Atlas.
So this is where it's probably a good time to ask, do we have like HP or
I'm keeping track of your
okay, cool.
health. Just to let you all know, Courage is currently a little bit more wounded than everyone else because she was burned and is kind of a bit beaten up and bruised. Hadley is currently like sporting kind of a throbbing arm, but it is fine. And the captain and Natalia are both peachy keen.
So Captain has eye on the ball, going just straight towards the pirate captain. If she has to hack and slash someone, she will, but running straight for going for her.
Yeah, you can see that there are sort of stairs up towards where she is, but there are quite a few pirates in the way of that. And who are
whatever I need to do to
hell-bent
like
on stopping you.
Yeah. So whatever I need to like hit while I go.
Make me a fight check because you are slaughtering your way through pirates.
Okay, that's a 5 minus 3 is 2, but I have a +3, so that's 5, and then a +2 for fighting pirates.
You do hate pirates.
7.
Basically there are 2 running towards you, and you take the moment to sort of step back, slash, stab, keep moving forward. You are unfazed by these pirates.
Cool.
Courage, could you please make me a notice check?
Oh, right.
Oh, no.
It's not going to go well, but I can do it. So that's a -2 plus 1 is a -1.
Oh, no.
In which case, never mind. What do you do on your what do you do on your turn? Sorry, ominous GM time. You don't think you notice anything.
Yeah. I distinctly not notice anything. And so the captain is running up. She's dealing with some pirates. Hadley is sort of fighting one pirate at 1-on-1, but the pirate is not doing so great. I think I'm gonna have to shoot. I guess I'm gonna try to shoot at the pirates. Anyone who is between the captain and the pirate queen.
Yeah,
Awesome.
make me that shot.
Okay, that's what I do better. Not much better. So that's a -3 plus 4 is 1.
Then what you're able to do is you're able to shoot one of the pirates that is charging towards her, effectively slowing him, like it hits him in the thigh and it slows him down.
That's fine. That works too.
But yes, that will definitely succeed a little. Natalia.
Okie dokie. I look to my left and I can see Hadley trying to stab at vital organs within a pirate. I look to my right and I can see the captain stomping her merry fucking way off to this pirate queen with pirates in the way. I can see one of the pirates has got a bolt in his leg and is dragging it, trying to get towards the captain. And I let out a long sigh, like, oh, and I noticed there's still a pirate in front of me. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to stab this pirate that's in front of me to be able to take him down so I can kill the captain. So, let's do my little fight roll. Okay.
It's at this point you realize you're not getting paid enough for this job.
Oh, God.
got
But I
a
look
3.
really, really cool.
I wouldn't get paid a lot for the last job either. Like,
You have a purse of gold in your pocket, Courage.
but-
Yo, you robbed a veteran. I don't know what you're complaining about.
I had to steal
was
that. I
that was a
wasn't
bonus. That was a bonus.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
A 3 is enough. In fact, a 3 is enough if you then like slash down at the one who Courage shot, because he has been greatly slowed, and you're able to pretty much just slice him down. In fact, now I think about it, could all of you who is not Captain Atlas please make me a notice check?
Dang it.
Stars,
Someone please
Viv.
notice something.
7. Holy shit.
4.
-2.
That's fine, Courage. You're good at other things. It was just Courage who was going to have the chance to notice it earlier. But glancing as you do around in the battlefield to try and get your bearings, the dread pirate is no longer on her. Is no longer at the wheel.
No.
She's gone.
Oh no.
You cannot see her. And Hadji, it's your go.
Can we all not see her?
Yeah.
Or is it just?
What did you get? Sorry.
A 4.
Oh yeah, no, then you can't see her either.
Okay.
So
Cool.
wait, did you guys yell this out yet? Or
Yeah. So that's what. So Hadley is yelling it out right now. That she is missing, but it's through or that she is missing as he is slashing at this pirate that is currently all up in his business. What's with bad numbers? A 5 minus 1, so a 4. Nailed it. So I slashed out of the pirate. Yeah.
Then,
so I slashed out
as
of
you
the pirate.
step to the side, you basically are able to open up this pirate's throat,
Oh.
and he sprays blood.
And I sort of
Up
kick
your
him
face.
off. I sort of kick him off, and I look back and I wink to Courage.
I ship these two so much.
I'm also here for the captain, but it's more important.
But yes, Captain Atlas, having been relayed this information by your spotter, you glance up, and you cannot see her.
Is there like an investigate or notice or something roll I can make to see if I could spot her anywhere?
You may make me an investigate check.
Okay. I'm gonna say as I do this, come face me, you cowardly bitch. Oh shit, that was bad.
Such harsh language.
Go on.
Is that a 1 and a 6?
That's a -2. That's
Oh!
a 2 and a 5.
In which
I'm too
Case.
enraged. I'm too enraged.
Pirate captain's behind you.
you can see the captain turn as she can't see Delilah on her deck anymore, and you can see her shouting, like just foaming, so furious that she isn't there to come out and face her. And this is the way it's set up is that there's the deck, the stairs down, the doorway into you think cabins, and you've all been fighting on the kind of the main deck towards the center by the mast. And it's almost as if everything stops for a moment. And as Captain Atlas turns round, her sword raised, a crossbow bolt appears in her shoulder, spinning her to the floor. And as far as the way it is framed, as far as all of you are concerned, she falls to the floor, just blood pouring out of her left shoulder. And for a second, she could almost be dead. But her hand comes up, and out of the shadows, the shadowy doorway of her cabin steps a woman with beautiful, long, blue hair that just looks perfect, even though she's been in fighting. Dressed all as you would imagine a pirate queen would, but with like heavy armored plates across her chest, with a crossbow, with a small hand crossbow pointed towards Captain Atlas. Now, Natalia, you have known Captain Atlas, Vivian Atlas, for a very long time. She commanded the Sugar and Spice, and you remember her before the Sugar and Spice burned, scarring her face and forcing her to wear her mask. And for a moment, you have to double take, because the dread pirate Delilah, holding her crossbow in hand towards Vivian, could be Vivian. Her hair is longer, the color is brighter, She has more makeup on than you've ever seen Vivian wear, and it's beautifully done. But looking at her, you could be looking in a mirror to the past.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, my heart. Still. My loins aflame.
And she throws the now spent crossbow to the floor, not intending to reload it, and draws a long, curved sword. And she goes, Vivi, you should have visited sooner. I've missed you so much, sister.
Bum bum bum.
Ah! Oh. Well. Jaw drop. I am 100% shooketh. Completely shooketh.
Much shaking.
Much shaking. I grip my sword and book it to where Vivian is. I want to see her. I want toe to toe against this bitch.
Yeah.
Now, when you say toe to toe against, you mean to fight her, right? Like it's just, you're not rolling just a deuce right now.
Against me.
Well, you are able to help Vivian up, and Vivian
I break it off and toss it to the side.
Thankfully, it is not the arm that you wield your sword in.
Yeah. I see we're still using cheap tactics.
Bitter much.
Shall we do this?
Oh, you're not still mad about that tacky little ship, are you?
No, I just sailed all the way here for nothing.
I thought you missed me.
Why would I miss you?
Mean. And she'll hold her sword out, ready to do great if battle with you.
Yeah.
However, there are still pirates on this ship, and they know full well that the rule of drama is that now the captain is going to do bloody battle with another captain, and they wouldn't think of getting involved in that. So one pirate with a pair of hand axes is going to step out and try and throw them at Hadley. Both will miss, so he draws his swords. I re-rolled that. Hadley, however, you have a pirate stepping up to do great battle against you.
Yeah. I'm going to stab at thee. And let me see here. Roll a fight. Roll. -2.
Once again,
oh no!
You swing up to attack him, and he drops back. Again, drawing like a hefty axe to swing at you. I'm gonna.
Guys, I'm a doctor. I don't know if you know that.
The axe cuts into your shoulder, and it hurts, not just because it's sharp, but because he's very strong. He's at least a foot taller than you, and swings down, and he lifts it back up to slash at you again.
And Hadley kind of dries down to one knee and like ah, as he is strucketh with this axe.
Courage.
Yeah. How dare he?
Right?
I believe. Give me a second. I believe you have a specific aspect that I'd like you to read out verbatim for me.
It's don't touch my husband, you jerk. And so I think that courage is like perched with one foot up on the railing of our ship. And is going to just like jump up and off and land down onto the pirate ship, and just like holding the crossbow up, just start like basically sprinting straight toward this pirate. And when she gets very close, just try to shoot the guy somewhere that will hurt a lot.
Very well.
Nice.
In which case, you may make me your shoot roll at a +2. I'm giving you the free athletics over because it's dramatic and I don't care.
It's awesome.
So that's a 2 + 4 + another 2. So a lot.
Many lots.
Many.
Where do you want to shoot him?
Yes.
Where do I want to shoot him?
because you have swung over from the other side, effectively dropped, rolled, locked your bolt into place, and have just fairly point blank shot this man.
I think that I want to shoot him in the shoulder that is the mirror of the shoulder that he hit Hadley in. And so as she does that, Courage is just yelling, "How do you like it? Like people hurting you in the shoulder? That's like very rude." And how he is a doctor. He's a gem of a human being.
But all flustered. Did you see the wink? I saw it.
Yeah. He was. We were all posing dramatically, and you ruined it. And then just like crank the crossbow to lock another bolt and just keep it pointed right at him.
He pretty much goes down, holding his shoulder, kind of almost matching how Hadley's doing his to make Hadley feel better. And Hadley kind of was able to stand up kind of next to you, sheepishly.
Like, are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? You're fine?
I'm fine.
Like, okay. You're a doctor. I think you forget that sometimes. You're not a fighter.
It's like a scalpel. It's just longer. I thought listen. And he steps in front of Courage to block anyone incoming. Guys, if you have fan art of this, please draw it.
Tag me in any.
Yeah. Same.
Now on the other side of the deck, Captain Vivian is stood with her sword held towards her sister, the dread pirate Delilah. Natalia is stood to her side, and Delilah whistles, and dropping down from the deck above is a very tall, broad woman with sort of blonde hair braided back, who's holding a pair of swords, who fixes eyes with Natalia. She's got a first mate too. And the two of you break off into combat stance. So I'm just going to do a couple of quick rolls. So the first mate will step up and swing her swords up to attack Natalia, but Natalia is able to sort of block them both, preparing for her next move. Delilah steps up to Captain Atlas, and what do you do?
Going at her. I'm attacking her. This ends today.
Roll and describe.
Oh, god dang it.
The pressure's on.
We used all of our criticals too early.
Well, hold on. It may not be as bad as I thought. Okay. -2. +3 is 1. +2. So 3. And so kind of like go at and just, that shoulder just kind of like hesitates me back, but I still try to make contact as I go for her.
You are able to sort of swing up despite the pain, and sort of catch her forearm as she raises her sword. However, because she also rolled slightly better, she takes the blow and then drops her sword down the line of yours and like stabs you again just to where the crossbow bolt went in. And it's not a very good blow, but it just sends a sort of throbbing pain across your chest. Natalia, you are locked swords with the first mate of the Hesperus.
I am gonna keep my eyes focused on this hulking first mate and say very gently and quietly to Vivian that, remember, Captain, if we don't make this entire battle and we don't make it out of here alive, remember that I do believe in you and that I love you. Roll to attack! 2.
Oh, snap!
Shooketh! Sorry.
4.
What did you do? What happened? 4.
Sorry, you're breaking up really bad.
As you say that, you feel a sort of a great lightness at finally having gotten it off your chest. Damn it. Okay, good. I think I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah. I can hear you, I just can't see you.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Maybe not.
No, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no!
Okay.
Oh, are you there?
I got a little message that said my internet was unstable, so I think...
Is somebody else
Now you're...
screaming?
now I
Okay.
can...
Oh.
Oh, dramatic moment! Yeah, I can see you now. We're good.
Yeah, we can see you. No. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh.
Okay.
Well, I got
I
that.
think that's okay. I think.
It comes back
Yeah.
and then it goes away. It comes back and then goes away.
Oh no.
This is the first worst thing to ever happen to anyone.
Oh, I can hear you now. Sort of. Yeah.
I'm basically going to keep talking and waving my hand until I decide that it...
Your
Okay.
bandwidth is low.
You're telling me that your bandwidth's low, and that's it. So somebody might be streaming in your house, so it might be peak time.
Oh, he better not be. I will kill him.
The suspense.
Team Butler, how dare you? Yes, you feel a great lightness having finally gotten that off your chest, and are able to effectively slide your blade between her two crossed swords, and once again drive your sword through her shoulder.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it pushes her back against the doorway, and she snarls and lashes out at you, which will happen in another moment. Trelawney's both. What do you do?
Ooh, I don't know.
How many guys are around us?
Like 4?
We surrounded?
Ish.
Mhm.
Like 4 and surrounded-ish. Okay, cool.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think that we probably go back to back, and Courage is going to draw out her sword too, and put the crossbow down, or like sling it on a shoulder thing.
Yeah.
Swords.
And then we do sword things.
Yeah.
So both of you may make me a fight roll, and because you're both engaged in melee combat together, you may both make the fight rolls at a +2.
Nice.
The couple who play together get +2 together.
You know that's true. You know that's true.
Thank God for the +2. I rolled a 2.
I got less than that, I think. Wait, no. I got 1 minus 4 is -3, +2 is -1, +2 is 1.
No,
All right,
don't
hey.
forget. Don't forget, if you got fate points and aspects, you can spend them, because you can't take them with you.
Oh yeah, what does spending a fate point do?
Oh, dang it. I was going to do that when we hopped on the ship. I was going to be like, I make them all afraid by spending... Darn it.
It will give you, in this situation, it will give you a +2.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll spend a fate point.
On what? What's the aspect?
I don't think I know. I don't know how to play this game.
Well, I can go because
Go ahead.
I have my aspect of don't touch my husband.
Yep.
And so we're back to back. I'm not protecting just myself. I'm protecting him as well. And so I'm fighting for both of our lives.
Aww.
Cool. Okay, I got it. So, because this is a cinema, right, and everyone loves drama, I have an aspect called empathetic bond. During a scene, if you engage in meaningful, positive conversation, and I'm gonna redefine conversation, you may spend a fate point to give that character a temporary aspect. So as Courage lands down and I step in front of her and these guys surround us, I sort of swing an arm around and plant a kiss and then slash out, and so you gain an aspect for that.
Oh, man. That's so good.
Yeah. I love you all so much. So, with the respective +2s,
So I'm at 3.
yeah, what I'm gonna say
4.
What I'm gonna say is the pair of you effectively do that thing where you separate out and eviscerate your way around the 4 and end up back together at the other side of the ship, having left a trail of dead pirates in your wake, both looking kind of blood spattered and breathless.
As any romantic couple would do.
Look, I think it's romantic and it's my game.
I would 100% accept that as a date.
Yeah.
So, Captain Atlas, make me another fight roll.
Okay.
You have been stabbed again by your foul twin. And don't forget, you have aspects.
Yeah, and I was also going to say, do I get to react to what Natalia said?
Oh, of course.
So
You can. Talking is a free action, and this is a dramatic thing.
So, hearing Natalia do that, and I don't know if they'll like get any bonuses or whatever, but just like all this weight and dread that I've been carrying from everyone we lost on that ship, and all the people I let down, and even feeling that I let Natalia down because of all of this that we've been doing. I feel empowered that someone still has belief in me, even though I've lost belief in myself. And I just give, this is horrible, feeling all of this internalized, I give a knowingly, I give a grunt of acknowledgement or something towards Natalia, because still a woman of not very much words.
Eye contact, the nod. You both know.
Yeah. And feeling empowered that someone still has belief, even though I feel I've, ruined so much. Going to look at my sister, and I don't know if because the only one I have is the Wrath of the Skies, or is that...
Those are stunts. The aspects are the list, the longer list above that.
The no patience, or...
Yeah, that list.
Okay.
There. So if you find one that you think best describes the situation, you can tag that and get a +2.
Okay, so I'm gonna do, because of Natalia bringing up stuff, I'm gonna use the aspect, I carry the lives of those who have fallen.
Okay.
And I'm going to use that to fuel my wrath at putting my sister down.
Very well. You may roll that.
Okay.
And I too shall roll.
Oh no!
Exciting!
Oh no.
Can you take me to re-roll in this one?
You see, I would let you, but
it's all about drama.
And Delilah just critted.
Oh no!
So it doesn't matter what I have then, does it? Or
it does.
Okay.
It does. I'm just taking it into account.
Okay. So
oh man, I'm gonna have to pull out.
-2. I haven't used that extra crit, or I used that extra crit earlier,
Yeah,
right?
that's all.
Okay.
That's all. That's all
Just
wiped
wanted to
out.
make sure. Okay.
Sneaky bargainers.
Okay, hold on. Let me do the math, because I got a bunch of things to add.
Quick.
Okay. -2. +3 is a 1. Plus another 2 against the pirates is 3. Plus another 2 for the carry the lives. So I've got 5.
Very well. You feel the will coursing through you, and you knock her sword up out of the way, and drop low to slash up at her with all the kind of rage and sorrow that you felt from the destruction of your ship. But you know that the one woman who is always faster than you, ever since you were children, ever since you practiced sword fighting, was your twin sister, who you can see a look of shock and surprise in her eyes as she realizes that you're much stronger than she thought. But she kind of drops back, and the blade passes just in front of her neck. And she lunges forward with her sword in her fist and just strikes you in the face. And for a second...
does my mask get knocked off?
So your mask is knocked onto the deck of the ship, and you can see just the kind of huge ruination of scars that cut up across your face, and blood sprays out of your mouth. And you can feel her running away from you.
Oh, no. That's not happening.
Trelawney's, your side of the battle is over. And you see everything that has been described at the front of the ship.
We're pretty impressed with ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So the captain's running away. The first mate is down, and both our captain and first mate are relatively okay.
Yeah, the Dread Pirate's running away. You can see that Natalia's effectively got the first mate of the Hesperus pinned. Like, she can't fight her, but like she's also not down.
Okay. Can I use that same surgery trick I pulled last time and tell Courage where to shoot to disable the captain from running away?
You can make me a roll.
Yes!
Oh,
yes. All right, cool. So, and in fact, I'm going to use, a stunt to do that as well for my surgery thing under stressful conditions.
That is a stunt, yes.
Cool. So I get a +2 for that as well. So +5 to this roll. Please don't suck. -2, so it's a 3. So total of a 3.
That is a 3.
Yep.
Which means which means yes, courage.
Cool.
You may make that roll.
Cool. Cool.
And if you have fate points left,
now's the time to use our fate points.
Yeah.
and if I recall correctly, your first aspect is entirely relevant to this situation.
Oh yeah. This is my jam. So I'm gonna just like probably not even bother like as we finish up our circle of destruction and like connect back up.
It's a
and we
ballet
look
of
over.
blades. So.
We look back to where the captain is, and I see that the dread pirate is escaping, and Hadley kind of like quick whispers something about something medical that sort of connects in my brain, and I figure out where I'm supposed to shoot. And so I probably just drop my sword and pull up the crossbow because it's not even worth it to resheath that right now. I'll get it later. And I know that I shouldn't be trying to kill the dread pirate because like that's what Captain Vivian wants to do. So I'm just trying to like disable her. And if anyone could do this, it would be me because I am the finest shot in the skies, in the seven skies. And so I'm gonna shoot.
So you're rolling at a +4 on top of everything else you have because Hadley and you are the finest shot in the seven skies.
And so I'm going to spend a fate point to trigger that. So I rolled a 1 plus 1 plus 4 for my shoot skill, plus 2 for the fate point.
Plus 2 for the fate point and plus 2 from Hadley.
And plus 2 from Hadley, so that's a 9 in total.
So your crossbow bolt, again, you can just see it moving, just almost in slow motion. As it leaves your crossbow, fires across the deck between two pirates who are going to stand up and just through the back of the dread pirate Delilah's knee as she puts the foot on the stairs. Her leg wasn't there a second ago. You just knew exactly where it was going to be. And she like crumples against the stairs, her sword flying out of her hand as she falls, winded.
Yeah, and I'll yell over, Captain, and point and like, get her.
Atlas, it is your go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spit blood and wipe my face. Grab my sword. This ends today. Run over. How far away am I from her?
Like a few strides.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She wasn't far.
And I'm going to use To the Last I Grapple with Thee from Hell's Heart I Stab at Thee. And I'm gonna aim to stab at her heart.
Make me your roll.
Do it!
Come on, please.
Do it!
Not great.
But you're at a +4 for evoking your signature move.
Oh, that's a +4? That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a 3, 1, so 2 plus 4
Plus
is
your fight.
6, plus 3 is 9, plus the bonus for pirates.
Yep.
So 11.
So she is basically sprawled on the stairs, and you feel just all your anger and all of your rage, and you step forward with your sword, quoting, of course, Captain Ahab, the finest captain that ever was,
yes.
commanded by idiots. And you raise your elbow to just completely run her through, and she raises out her hand and goes, Vivian! And your sword cuts straight through her. It is so strong that it goes straight through and through the stairs behind, pinning her to the deck of her own ship.
Oof.
And there is a moment of silence. And no matter how much you pull and how hard you try, you cannot pull your sword back out.
Probably collapse onto the ground, just exhausted.
And now, because the fight is done and the story is ended and we have run over, I'm going to let all of you just tell me what's next for Hadley and Courage Trelawney.
Probably a lot of fighting.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think the romance only comes in moments of high stress like this, and then it goes back to, why would you jump on the ship? You were safe when you were back there.
Yeah.
You had no reason to pull out a sword.
Doctor.
So that's what breaks the moment of silence. It's just immediate devolution of like, what were you doing?
But we probably go back and help the doc. We probably help the captain up.
Yeah. Wounds are assessed, and then a third honeymoon tour is taken on the ship.
Natalia, what's next for Natalia Jones?
She's not going to say anything. Despite the stress, she does have a gentle and affectionate nature, and she has known that captain for a long time. So she's just going to drag herself over, weary from battle, come up with her arms behind the captain and just rest on her shoulder until all is said and done, and wait for all the wounds to be assessed.
And finally, to wrap up the game, what next from Captain Vivian Atlas?
So in a move that is completely unknown for the captain in the years that Natalia's known her, she hugs Natalia. Lets out a deep sigh of relief. Says, "It is done." Probably limps over to where her mask is and grabs her mask and puts it back on. Straightens herself, straightens her hat, and says, "I think we found a new ship."
And on that, as it were, the camera pulls out. The two ships dock together, the fluttering flags of the Hesperus in the breeze of the high skies.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
And I hope you all enjoyed.
That was amazing. Good job. That was so great.
That was fun. That was good shit.
And I hope all of you watching this stream enjoyed a silly adventure on the high skies.
That was
When
good.
we get to play again, because that was amazing.
I have been PraxisDescends. I have been your storyteller.
Yeah. So that was my first game. I think most of our first games of Fate.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
And your first game at a party, and you were amazing.
Yeah. This is our first time. My first time playing with any of you people. So that was pretty dope as well.
Good.
So thank you all for being part of the 12-hour charity stream. That was the first 3.5 hours. We're already over $300 of our goal of $250.
Yes!
Awesome!
Yeah.
Nice.
Brilliant human beings.
So we are well on our way to 500, which, as I said, puts us over. If we hit 500, it puts us over 5,000 for Extra Life charity for kids.
Nice.
So that's freaking dope.
Awesome.
So yeah, let's go around, introduce you people, take a short break, and then jump into our next game, which is a new game called Fall of Magic. So our lovely storyteller here, Prax, who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of this session?
So yeah, I'm PraxisDescends. I am the storyteller and 20% of the It You Trash crew, available on Twitch and Twitter at It You Crew, where I tell stories that are not dissimilar to this, full of drama and romance and fighting and romance. Because I know what I like and I like what I know. I think this game has been just everything I hoped it would be and so much more. You four have all been absolutely amazing. For the record, I threw these characters that I genned at these four people sort of over the past few days, and it's amazing, and I'm so happy, and it's perfect, and I couldn't be happier. And just I want to take this moment to say that thank you to Pretty Ideal, who is also in the Trash crew with me, for giving me the inspiration. She couldn't make this game that she really wanted to. So the Dread Pirate Delilah was entirely based on her.
Awesome.
With her beautiful long blue hair and her give no fucks, take no prisoners attitude. So I'm sorry you couldn't make it, babe, but I hope this was good for you too.
Sorry I stabbed you in the heart.
Sorry we killed the hell out of
Sorry.
you. Our bad. We'll jump over to the first mate here, Natalia Bunbun. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of today's session?
Good God, that was good. So I am unMadeGaming. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch, Twitter and Discord. I'm everywhere, and I probably shouldn't be. I've done a lot of video games, normally adventures, survival, all that kind of stuff. But soon I'm going to be releasing a new tabletop live stream called D8 Night.
Oh, nice.
On Pathfinder, and it's going to be in the theme of nightmares and fairy tales.
Nice.
That's going to be amazing. This session was effing incredible, and for a one-shot with predetermined characters, doesn't happen to be good that often. So this, absolutely fucking incredible. Thank you very much, everybody, and especially PraxisDescends for writing this fucking incredible.
Thank you.
Well, Joe, would you, Captain Vivian herself, AdorkableDM, who are you, where can we find you, and what did you think of this session?
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews, also known as AdorkableDM. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I used to be on the podcast Awful Good Crew, one of those two. That's on Twitter somewhere. I'm in the middle of some other projects that are getting started, so watch my Twitter and stuff for that. This was freaking awesome. This is why I love one-shots, because when they're done well, they're freaking amazing. Praxis, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much. This was so much fun. It was so much fun to play a character different than what I normally play. And you did amazing. And everyone else too. Like we all haven't met before. I haven't met any of you before.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like the fact that we all, were able to play well and be a competent crew is awesome. So
Yeah, you.
And then also just the fact of like being able to do like play a game and raise money like for charity. That's awesome.
Right.
So thank you for everyone who's watched and donated and stuff. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm
Hell
all
yeah.
excited.
From Captain Heartstabber to the Heart Throbber, James, who are you, where can we find you, and what did you think of today's session?
My name is James Malloy. You can find me on Twitter at AndTheMeltdowns. And I recommend everyone check out my podcast, Protean City Comics. It is the sort of same sort of thrilling adventures and high-flying superheroics, but with teen superheroes. It's great.
It's really good. I can confirm. I have written a lot of fan fiction about Protean City Comics. No, absolutely zero shame in admitting that.
This was fun. It's always good to play competent adults instead of just like shitty teens.
Yeah.
So that was great. And yeah, again, this was a great crew, and I had a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I had a blast. This is my first Fate game. This is my first airship game. This is my first pseudo-pirate game, so I had a blast, and echo those same sentiments. As a storyteller, amazing job, Prax. Thank you for jumping on here last minute and running this game. It was a blast. And for four almost strangers thrown together into a crew of a pirate ship or a pirate hunting ship, I think we did awesome. We did a great job. So with that, guys, I'll remind you we're doing a giveaway right now, exclamation point giveaway in the chat. Check that out while we take a quick break and get our next crew all set up in here. So from all of us to you, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.